presentation of Badger football on Wisconsin Public Television is made possible in part by Goodman's Jewelers. John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers, proud of the tradition started by Robert and Irwin Goodman. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933. The Mendota Gridiron Club, the official fundraising organization for University of Wisconsin football. University Athletic Department, with official information about Badger athletics on the web. The Wisconsin Alumni Association, connecting, enriching, and serving UW-Madison alumni and friends for more than 140 years. UWalumni.com. And by the Badger Fund, the Wisconsin Athletic Department's annual fundraising program, 14,000 donors, supporting 750 Badger student athletes.
Welcome into Camp Randall Stadium on a sun-soaked Saturday, October afternoon. It is Big Ten football, Wisconsin against Illinois. I'm Mike Heller along with former Badger defensive back Scott Nelson. The Badgers at 7-1 have loved home cooking over the last 3 years where they're 15-1 at home. Nelly, this is a Wisconsin team that is very good at 7-1, surprising a lot of people, and a lot of that work has been done on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I think you're right, Mike. Nobody expected this in the beginning of the season. I think people would have thought we were nuts if we would have said 7-1, but they've done some tremendous things. Receivers have stepped up, running backs have stepped up, and Stocko's been consistent all year long.
Well, the big story with Wisconsin at 7-1, obviously, though, is the defensive side of the ball. They're among the Big Ten leaders and national leaders in nearly every category. As you look at this Wisconsin defense, they start 3 seniors on that defense. They're led with a great secondary, 2 outstanding junior defensive backs. They're almost unpassable in the air. Wisconsin has only allowed 2 touchdowns. And Nelly, that's been the story.
Yeah, they've shown up. Corners have shown up. Ike Iguano and Langford have done a tremendous job, led by a couple of seniors. But I'll tell you what, the thing that's impressing me so far today is watching Illinois warm up, get things going. They're a much improved defense this year. They're averaging better than 100 yards on their rush defense. Their scoring defense is down 14 points on average the entire year. And I tell you what, against Wisconsin, they're going to have to show up today. They're led by Jay Lehman. He's a big-time linebacker.
Well, they're going to have a tough go of it today against P.J. Hill. He is the premier running back in the Big Ten, one of the premier running backs in the country, now in the top 10 in a lot of Heisman Trophy ballots.
Yeah, and PJ's been fun. He hasn't had the experience from last year because he was hurt, but he's hungry. He's a guy that's showing up every day in practice. He's doing the little things right. He's learning his blocking schemes, and he's patient. Boy, when he gets in the field, he's fun to watch. I tell you, on the flip side for Illinois, Pierre Thomas, number 30, he's a senior, got a lot of experience out there for the Illini. He's going to be a factor in today's game. E.B. Halsey is another guy that you're not going to see a whole lot of today, but another senior who's been productive, over 1,400 yards in his career for the Illini. I think the guy that you're going to have to watch out for today, and the Badgers especially, is number 5, Rashard Mendenhall. Breakout game, a career game last week against a very good Penn State team, over 160 yards. He's big and he's fast. He's going to be a productive today.
And Illinois has a guy by the name of Juice Williams at quarterback who likes to run it too. A battle of the Big Ten's 2 best running attacks comes up next. We'll have the kickoff in just a moment. This is Badger football on Wisconsin Public Television. And what a beautiful day it is for college football. The Badgers taking the field, and Wisconsin has owned this field since the start of the 2004 season. The Badgers have run up a record at Camp Randall of 15-1. Let's talk about the series history. Wisconsin has won the last 3 games in the series by an average of 17 points, but Illinois leads the all-time series 35-32 with 7 ties. Last year, the Badgers won 41-24 at Illinois. In that game, Brian Calhoun had 4 touchdowns in the contest. The coaches are familiar now. Ron Zook spent 3 years at Florida. This is his 2nd year on the sideline at Illinois. He's got a 4-15 record with the Illini, but things are changing in Champaign, and I believe that Illinois is on its way to being a much better football team. On the Badgers sideline, Brett Bielema is enjoying unprecedented success as a rookie head coach at the University of Wisconsin, off to a 7-1 start. The Badgers are number 17 and 18 respectively in the AP and USA Today polls this week. So the Badgers are in awfully good shape. The Illini have won the toss. They have deferred, so they will get the choice in the second half. As we start, the Badgers will receive the ball and work on a windy day from right to left. There you see the officiating crew for today. It was interesting in talking with Brett Bielema how much he pays attention to the crews. Last week they had in Purdue the same crew that worked the Michigan game, and he talked to them before the game and said, we've improved a lot since then, and I'm looking to see that you've improved as well.
I think that was a subtle hint, like, I hope you guys have improved, and it's been fun to kind of see this team grow, but as well as the officials. That's part of the whole package today.
Well, and it looks like a beautiful day, and for that matter it is, although there is the concern of wind. It is 17 miles an hour and out of the west to southwest, gusting to 25, maybe 30. It could get above 50 degrees today. The deal with the wind, Nelly, is that there is only one corner of the stadium that is not enclosed, and that is the southwest corner. That's where the winds come from today, so it swirls. The flags on each goalpost are blowing towards the end zone as if it was with the wind, but it is swirling, and kickers had a very tough go of it in warm-ups today. Expect the kicks to be less opportunity taken from outside the 30-yard line as far as field goal attempts.
Right, and I think watching the guys warm up, they were moving all over the place, deep, short, right hash, left hash, in the middle, and they were doing that, and coaches were watching to make sure that when the opportunity does come up, are we going to kick or are we going to let things go? Are we going to try and go for it on fourth down? They have a much better idea after warming up.
Kyle Yelton is the kicker for Illinois. He has, or rather Jason Rita, 14 of 34 kicks have been touchbacks. This one won't be. And it is Jarvis Minton breaking the initial tackle and getting it outside of the 22, maybe the 21-yard line, where Wisconsin will begin on offense with their captain and quarterback, John Stocco, who is 26-7 as a starter. The 6'2", 204-pound senior from Richfield, Minnesota, is having a spectacular senior season. Comes in behind a very experienced offensive line, at least on the edge, with Joe Thomas, and what has become a very solid offensive line next to Joe Thomas with Kemp, Coleman, Urbick, and Vanden Heuvel. They run P.J. Hill off the right side on first down, and he'll find a seam and take it out near the 39-yard line. Let's set the Badger offense for you. Wisconsin off to a 7-1 start and an offense that has been outstanding. Hill, Heisman Trophy candidate suddenly. Rentmeester at fullback, but don't expect to see a lot of Rentmeester today. Hubbard, Swan, and Crooks are in at wide receivers and tight end. The offensive line anchored by Joe Thomas. The All-American will start at left tackle. There he is, big number 72. Single back in the backfield on second and short. Blitz coming top side. Hill comes near side with a big block by Thomas. And Hill is knocked out of bounds. What a hit by Joe Thomas on the sideline. Let's set the Illinois defense for you as well. They are led by their leading tackler and the leading tackler in the Big Ten at linebacker. But first up front, they've got Norwell, Walker, Norris, and Pilcher. The leading tackler in the Big Ten is Jay Lehman. He is a junior from Champaign, 85 tackles, 40 of those solo, and he leads the league in that category, averaging nearly 10 tackles a game. The secondary, Kevin Mitchell, is a strong safety, and he is the second leading tackler for Illinois. It's a Badger first down, and the ball is marked at the 43. Hill again, 3 straight carries to open the game. Gets by the initial penetration and picks up about 4, maybe 5 on the play. So Wisconsin loves to go to Hill early in this one. On the previous play, Joe Thomas just blew somebody up coming to the near side.
I tell you, it's fun watching Joe. He's athletic, and he's excited about recovering from his knee injury, and he's had a tremendous year. And it makes it easy for a guy like PJL, who's a freshman coming in here, no experience. When you run it behind guys that are doing what these guys are doing, not just Thomas, but Vanden Heuvel and all those guys, tremendous job up front, and it makes it easy for the running back.
Badgers are moving it effectively in this first series. It is 2nd and 5, and Swan in motion. And off again, 4 straight carries for Hill. And again, through the initial wave, a pickup of about 7 inside Illinois territory to the 45-yard line.
You know, I think, Mike, they're just establishing the ground game right here. You see the line pulling You get Joe Thomas coming down. You get the left guard and Andy Kemp coming down. You get your center blocking down. And all these guys are doing exactly what they're supposed to, and they create a huge hole for P.J. Hill to run through. And it makes it, again, easy for a running back to get positive yardage.
It is a Badger first down all the way inside the 45. Call it the 44-yard line. There's Andy Kemp, the inside left guard. Stands next to Joe Thomas. Got to be a good place to be. Hill again, 5 straight carries to start the ball game. This time he's bottled up at about the 41. Still a pickup of 4. So Hill has 5 carries and 34 yards to start the game.
And Hill's doing a good job. That time Illinois, and twice in this series, they've come with a corner blitz from the weak side. The first time they ran away from it. This time they ran into it. He ended up making the tackle. But they're establishing the line of scrimmage. They're driving Illinois off the line of scrimmage. They're resetting it 2 or 3 yards deep into the defensive end, and they're moving forward, moving the chains. It
is a 2nd and 5. Ball marked just outside the 40-yard line of Illinois. Badgers move south to north, right to left here in the first quarter. And again, Hill, this time he has to step out of a tackle, and he's spun down by Britt Miller. The sophomore from Decatur gets the better of P.J. Hill there. And for the first time today, Wisconsin will face a 3rd down. And Hill is limping off.
Yeah, that's never a good sign. Sometimes you just tweak a tackle or an ankle during the tackle that way. But, you know, what I've seen so far is instead of playing at tight end, Andy Crooks, number 43, is a leading linebacker. And there you see kind of get rolled on his ankle a little bit. Limps off. Hopefully that's something he can run off on the sideline if he gets checked out by the doctors.
So the Badgers go with a slot left in Andy Crooks. And Stocco will throw for the first time today. Under pressure right side, under throws. On the out to the near sideline, looking for Travis Beckham. Comes up short on the pass, and Wisconsin will fail on downs and have to punt from the Illinois 40-yard line, 39-yard line. So Ken DeBush comes on, and he will do the punting. DeBush averaging 43.7, just under 44 yards per kick. 6 of those have been inside the 20-yard line. He'll need to be effective in that way here. Low line drive, going to make the end zone. Just about 1.5 yards, 2 yards deep, and Illinois will take over at the 20. It's a 40-yard punt, but just a 20-yard net.
And that's the thing that you talked about earlier in the game is that with this win, sometimes those kickers, they see and feel one thing as they get on the field, and when they go to kick, the swirling wind, now instead of having a headwind, it's a tailwind, and when you try and pooch it that way, it wreaks havoc on the way the ball flies.
He's talking to a couple of his teammates on the sideline explaining that. You see that north end zone, some of those students reveled a little bit longer than usual last night with the Halloween weekend, or they were at the Badger hockey game against Boston College, or at the women's volleyball game against number 2 Penn State.
Yeah, what an exciting weekend with all the talk on State Street with Halloween, and then the excitement of Badger hockey and volleyball and football. And what a great time to come back and see the red and white out here. Beautiful day for football, too, and you can't ask for much more at the end of October.
Well, and this Wisconsin team, Nelly, is off to one of the program's better starts ever. A 7-1 beginning to the season. It compares favorably with a number of great starts in Badger football history. Perhaps one of the best back in 98 when they started at 8-0. That ended up going to 9-0. I think Brett Bielema bristled a little bit at the comments on Monday when he was asked about poor finishes after fast starts in the previous years. He didn't want to buy any of that. They're looking at P.J. Hill on the sideline, and that was a left ankle that got rolled up on that tackle. Something you worry about with a big leg running back like P.J. Hill.
And with as hard and as fast as he runs and the plant and his cut, you got to have the ankles. If you don't have that, you got a running back that's running tentative, and he's not as productive as what he has been in the past. But, you know, a lot of times those things, as doctors look at it, you do a little running test before they put you back on the field. They put you through some cuts, and as long as he passes those tests, it's not going to be a problem for him when he gets back out on the field.
Badgers offense, you know, we talked about it in the open, Scott, and that is that the Badger defense was expected to do a lot of things this year, and they've been truly spectacular, but the offense is really the surprise of the Big Ten, that Wisconsin is number 1 in the league in total offense.
Yeah, and they're putting up some big points, too, not just yardage. 40 points over the last 4 games on average. I tell you, I don't think anybody expected that with what they lost from last year's team.
5 receivers to open the game for Illinois. An empty backfield with Juice Williams, Isaiah Williams, the quarterback, 6'2", 220, a freshman from Chicago. And he'll look to throw on first down in front of the left side. It's caught right in front of Langford and just shy of the first down. Kyle Hudson, who caught 10 balls for 114 yards against Wisconsin a year ago. And Illinois goes no huddle and hurry up. They'll call the play at the line of scrimmage right away. Look at the offensive line. Juice Williams is that freshman quarterback. Pierre Thomas, the running back for Illinois. And the offensive line is completely retooled from a year ago. We'll talk more about that. Illinois is at the line and changing the play there on a second and very short. And there's Juice faking the handoff, and Zalewski will ride him to the turf after a pickup of about 2. It's a first down for Illinois.
It was a good read by Zalewski there, a linebacker. And when we talked to Coach Bielema in our meeting yesterday, he had said it's good, sound, fundamental football, technique football, and play your responsibility. And that time Zalewski did it, just didn't bring him down in time for the first down.
Illinois' injured players, Charles Miles, a 6'6", 320-pound senior, former defensive tackle, and it doesn't look good for Myers, who is heavily favoring that left leg. Miles, a big kid, former defensive tackle. See if we can see how this happens. Looks like a left ankle. And there you see him going down. We didn't see what precipitated that, but Miles very slow going to the sideline. He's now walking on his own, and he'll be replaced on the field as Illinois tries to reset. It's already been a retooled offensive line, one that averages well over 300 pounds. In fact, nobody on the offensive line for Illinois is less than 300 pounds. Isaiah Juice Williams, the quarterback from the shotgun, has 2 receivers right and a running back immediately to his right. Now he'll motion and more help, and Derek McPherson into the backfield. Off the left side, the running back Rashard Mendenhall picks up a couple. Mendenhall had a big day last week. Let's set the Badger defense while we have this opportunity. Up front, Wisconsin has Monty Chapman, Hayden, and Shaughnessy. Monty, a senior, the only senior up front. Senior and Captain Mark Zalewski in the middle of the 3 very fast linebackers, and a couple of seniors in the deep middle for Wisconsin in Rogers and Stellmacher. Williams looks to throw, nothing there. Steps up, and Casillas steps up to make the play just outside the 40-yard line.
That's one thing the Badgers really have to be careful of, is because he's big and he's fast and he's outside, he can run the ball, and there's options and threats and different things that he can do. But once they like to do this, they like to play action, like to get him out in the open and go one-on-one with the defensive back or one-on-one with the linebacker. And because of his size, he's able to get forward for positive yards, lower the shoulder, and move the chains.
It's a big third down play, 3rd and 2. Badgers very good on third down, allowing just 26% on the season. Illinois converts on 36% of their third down plays. It's given off the left side. Halsey is going to be close and might have the first down.
Looks like from the initial spot that he's got it by about a yard. And this is one thing that is very difficult for a defense. 3rd and short, when you run split backs and a quarterback that's also a runner, you widen things out. It creates a lot of seams, and again, you've got to match up man on man and play your responsibility. Again,
Illinois goes to the line of scrimmage, but Nelly, it's not necessarily to hurry things up. They still take their time at the line of scrimmage to make a call, but it precludes defensive substitutions.
Absolutely.
It is a first down. The ball is at the 45, and McPherson motions into the backfield. He'll get the handoff to the left. Badger stretch it out, listen to the outside. Does a good job to get the original line of scrimmage. Nice play by Casillas on the outside to take him out of bounds.
And Nick Hayden almost looked like he got held there. He read it well, tried to get off his block, and the guy pulled him back in. Again, I'm not sure if he grabbed him or not, but Nick Hayden trying to make a play there. You see right at the top of your screen, just a good block, good footwork, and Casillas reading the play. You know, you talk about substitution just a second ago. It also stops the defense from reading who's coming in and out, what kind of personnel, and really forces you into your base defense.
Zach Hampton on as the Badgers go with a different look defensively here. Shotgun and the wide receiver screen on the right, and Hampton blew it up. Ball's loose on the ground, but I believe it's just an incomplete pass. Hampton came up, and he wasn't going to give his receiver any room at all on that play.
Wisconsin just coming with an all-out man-to-man blitz, and Hampton reading it reading his route well, sticking on his man right on his hip, and as soon as he steps back to get some clearance for the quarterback to throw, he breaks on it and blows it up. Great play and great recognition.
Well, it is another third down now. 3rd and 10. Just about midway through the first quarter and scoreless at Camp Randall Stadium. 5 receivers for Illinois. Williams again looks to the sideline. Play clock running down. He's got time. Now he'll throw. Blitz coming. He's still got time. Flushes right. Throws to the near sideline, and it's caught against the boundary and bobbled incomplete. It went to Jeff Cumberland, who looked like he had it, but apparently bobbled and didn't get possession before he was out of bounds. That's a big miss for Illinois.
That is huge because he was wide open. You got Casillas underneath. You got Stelmach over the top, and he was completely wide open in the flat. That's one that at this level, you've got to haul that in. Secure it tight, get your feet down. There's no reason that shouldn't be a completed pass.
Well, and at this level also, and where the ball is, they have the ability to review that, but it did look like the right call. It's punt safe for Wisconsin. Let's see what Illinois does. Short, floater, wobbler, near sideline. Badgers run away from it. It will be touchdown at the 30-yard line. So a good change of possession there for Wisconsin, who gets good field position on their second possession of the day. And the interesting look here will be if P.J. Hill comes off the Badgers sideline this time, or if they'll go with Daiwan Rowan. Looks like Hill's in the huddle on the sideline and ready to go. Watch that left ankle and see how he works.
It's good to see P.J. coming back in there because he is the top guy in the Big Ten right now as far as rushing is concerned. Who would have thought freshman running back from Wisconsin stepping up as he is? But there's some big names on there. Mike Hart from Michigan. Tremendous job. Pierre Thomas from Illinois also on that list. But you look down there and what P.J.'s been able to accomplish here, coming off a broken leg from last year, tremendous performance. You know,
Nelly, the thing that we talked about, Brett Bielema, yesterday, is that Hill is a redshirt freshman, but he had a broken leg last year.
Right.
So it's not as though he was a redshirt and benefited from a whole year of practice and learning the system and getting accustomed to life in the Big Ten and on the practice field. He didn't get to work last year. He got to rehab because of a broken leg.
Yeah, but the one thing that he did do, which separates him from a true freshman, is he was able to lift. He was able to watch film. He was able to game plan with these guys. He was at practice every single day. The only thing that he didn't do was the physical part of it. But mental reps are key, especially when you have to be patient. And sometimes when you get out there as a guy who hasn't played in a year, you're over anxious. You're not patient enough. PJ's showing the ability to temper things back a little bit, let his linemen get out in front, lead block his fullbacks and Rentmeester, and now with Crooks filling in for him to do those things that he's been able to produce, been able to make some big cuts in the open field once he gets by that initial wave.
I think that one of the more impressive aspects of Wisconsin's 7-1 start has been how they have handled the bottom half of the Big Ten as they played them. I'm talking about the wins against Northwestern and Indiana and Minnesota, and last week on the road at Purdue, not a bottom half team, but a middling team in the Big Ten. Illinois is a bottom half team. This is one of those times when you don't have a bye week in college football anymore. When you're playing your 9th consecutive Saturday, you wonder about the emotion. The impressive thing has been Wisconsin really hasn't had a letdown. You worry about that as you get this deep?
Well, I don't know if you necessarily worry about it because the luxury they've had is they've had some big wins, and they've been able to get some younger guys in there. They've been able to get some rookies in there. They've been able to get their starters off the field, so they're still fresh. They're still hungry getting out there. Plus, they've got some senior leadership that has been through the ringer before. They've been to bowl games. They know what it's like to beat teams and to go out against a team and not play well. They're game planning. They're watching film. They're practicing hard, and they're forcing the young guys to elevate their games to a level of championship football.
Andy Crooks, how versatile is he? Lines up in the fullback position here in front of P.J. Hill, 1st and 10. And Hill carries again. Gets into the linebacker mode there and hits into Britt Miller, who is solid on the tackle and maybe a pickup of one, as Wisconsin has been very one-dimensional so far. 6 carries for P.J. Hill and 35 yards so far. Make that 7 for 36.
And Wisconsin has done this a number of different times, but they bring a tackle or a guard over. They put Beckham on the tight end side, and that creates a heavy line of scrimmage for PJ to run behind, usually on the left side by Joe Thomas.
Look for John Stocco to pass here on 2nd and 9, and he will. Dropped straight back, has time over the middle, and Luke Swan had it and then dropped it. He had the layout. Ball was a little bit too far out on the mark. Maybe led him just a hair too far. Swan laid out, had it momentarily, couldn't hold it when he hit the ground.
And this is a passing situation. Stocko going down, reading the defense. He's got deep three coverage, and he looks down. He knows right where he's going to go. He looks down the middle, finds Swan. A good ball. Almost a great catch by Swan laying out. You don't see too many receivers lay out like that for the football going across the middle.
It is 3rd and 9, and the ball is at the 31-yard line. And Wisconsin a little confused offensively, going to take a timeout. Crooks, Beckham, and Hubbard were to the right, and John Stocko didn't like what he saw. One of the things about Stocko, had such an outstanding senior year. Last week, walking off the field at Purdue, Joe Tiller came up to Brett Bielema and said, your quarterback is playing well. He's playing like a senior quarterback ought to play. That's high compliments from a coach at Purdue who's had a lot of good quarterbacks.
Well, people remember a number of years ago, Drew Brees lighting it up for an NCAA record out here. He's had some tremendous guys, and what a great compliment, not only to a rookie coach, but also to the quarterback and the respect that he's garnered in his time out here. And you know, you don't end up leading the Big Ten in pass efficiency at over 167. You know, he's done the little things right. He prepares well each and every week, and I think that shows in his play. We always joke he's a solid performer. I think his solid performance has elevated him up to what can really, almost at the end of the year, be considered one of the best years ever by a Wisconsin quarterback.
Stocko having a great year, and next week he'll be on the field once again here at Camp Randall Stadium. Joe Paterno and the Penn State Nittany Lions come in as the oldest coach in college football takes on the second youngest coach in the land. Joe Paterno and Brett Bielema, the head coaches, next Saturday. You can see that game right here on Wisconsin Public Television next Saturday, November the 4th, and our coverage begins at 10:30 Saturday night. Now, the Illini just saw Penn State a week ago, and they really had a good go of it. Joe Paterno was very angry when the game ended with his own team, which is a compliment to Illinois, because Penn State had a fight on their hands with Illinois.
Well, they flat out dominated as far as statistics are concerned with overall yardage and rushing yardage, especially. And Mendenhall was one of those guys, almost had a touchdown, needed one block running down the field, but had a 70-yard run to get down to the goal line. And those are the little things that Illinois has to take, and they have to say, you know what, we're doing a lot of good things against some very good teams. And they've got some good athletes out there. Jay Lehman is fired up. He's a big-time linebacker, and those linemen up front know he's behind. They're ready to smack some people, and that gets their motor running a little bit more. Coach Zook has some very, very good talent out here. They're young, but they're very, very good.
Well, we'll see how Wisconsin responds. In recent weeks, they have had big plays that got them started. 2 weeks ago here against Minnesota, it was a fumble return for a touchdown in the first series of the ball game. And they haven't had that spark here so far, just over midway through the first quarter. Third down conversions, Wisconsin been very good on the season. Big third down play here. Blitz coming. Stocko steps up, has all the time in the world. Ball batted and incomplete at the line of scrimmage. And the Badgers will punt again. Stocko had a lot of time.
He had time, and as he was stepping up trying to go downfield, great coverage downfield by the linebackers in the secondary, and as you have to wait longer and longer, that pocket gets closer and tighter, and by the time he pulled the trigger, it was too tight, went right in the back of somebody.
Ken DeBush hit the first punt for 39 yards. This time he'll kick it from he'll hit it at about the 20-yard line. Punting with a swirling wind. It's a wobbler that will be fielded at the near sideline and out of bounds. Goes Illinois on the punt catch. It was caught by E.B. Halsey and run out of bounds right at the sideline. 6:24 to play in the first, in a scoreless first quarter at Camp Randall Stadium.
You know, Mike, so far nothing real flashy from Wisconsin, just solid ground game. A couple passes in situations where you have to pass, but you can tell they just want to establish the line of scrimmage, establish control of this ball game, and know that if they do that, good things will happen.
The Badgers line it up defensively. DeAndre Levy split out to cover one of the receivers at the top right. Now he comes in. steps inside a little bit. Eye backfield, more of a traditional look for Illinois here. And the tailback is Mendenhall, stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Nick Hayden in on the play, and the Badgers front four did their job there.
Nick Hayden and Levy, who you said was out on coverage with the wide receiver, as he cheats in, it changes the amount of linemen and linebackers in the box there from tackle to tackle, and it puts an extra body that you can't account for. Levy comes in and blows him up with Hayden. Great job. Good defensive call.
Nick Hayden, a big fella, 6'5" and 3'11", having an outstanding junior season. The snap and the option inside. Mendenhall gets it, tries to back down the defender. Might get the 32-yard line, but it will bring up 3rd and long.
And you're getting Rogers and Stelmacher both coming up from their safety position again. Their linebackers filling in, Zalewski and Levy and Casillas. You got bodies on bodies, but they're plugging the holes, not giving a place for the running backs to get through. And with Mendenhall, with his speed, if you don't wrap him up and bring him down, he breaks out. He's got the speed to go the distance.
Well, Zalewski and Casillas lead the Badgers in tackles so far this year, both with 57 tackles coming in. Near identical statistics.
And Stelmacher is number 3 on the team, so you got the guys leading the team that should be.
And the Badgers go with the base defense. Screen coming near side. Casillas gets beat initially, but out of bounds is Illinois, and it is short of the first down. It was Halsey on the catch and the run, but he'll be short. Ball's marked at the 37. It's 4th and 2 for Illinois, and they will, for the second time in as many possessions, be forced to punt.
And Casillas, even though he read that, he got blocked by number 67, Matt Maddox, a senior right guard for Illinois. Delayed him just enough where he couldn't make the tackle on the running back.
Zach Hampton is back deep to receive for Wisconsin. Probably a short leash on Zach. Another wobbler towards the near sideline that will find its way out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
The offense punt goes out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
You see Hampton talking there to Dave Dorn, the assistant defensive coordinator, on a 20-yard punt. Hampton's had his trouble in weeks past trying to catch a football. There he had a little confusion. Was it a middle return, right or left wall return, trying to get communication from the sideline. But if they keep shanking punts like that, it's not going to matter how well he catches them, because he's not going to have to worry about it.
The Badgers come out offensively. Again, Bill Rentmeester probably not going to go much, if at all, today. He's been the Badgers starting fullback, but Crooks is the offset slot here, and no Rentmeester on the field. Stocko, play action. Left sideline, 2 Crooks. Broken up on a big play by the safety. Coming in and knocking the ball away, it's Justin Harrison, the junior from Bloomington, Illinois. Already with 4 PBUs on the year. Gets another one there.
Get a good look here, a little misdirection, and Stocko knows exactly where he's going, but a great read by Justin Harrison coming over. Perfect timing, no pass interference. Really should have had an interception on that ball right there.
You could see him reading the eyes of John Stocko. He came off of Luke Swan and then made the hit on Crooks. On the sideline, it's 2nd and 10, and Stocko is 0 for 4 in the air so far. Hill going to get a look. Illinois reads it. Lots of a yard on the play. Coming in from the corner is Britt Miller to make the tackle, and it's 3rd and 11, and no sparks so far for Wisconsin.
And this linebacking core for Illinois is very good again. Jay Lehman, Antonio Steele. Britt Miller has shown up a couple different plays. They showed the speed that they have. We talk about Wisconsin's speed at linebacker. I tell you what, Illinois right now is showing they can compete just as well.
Well, and their front four has found their way into the backfield a lot this year. Derek Walker, one of the defensive ends, has 8 tackles for losses and 5.5 sacks. Now Stocko on a 3rd and 11. Drops back. Throws it to the right side. It's intercepted. Intercepted by Illinois. And taking it back to the far sideline and into the end zone is Travon Bellamy. It's a 36-yard interception return for touchdown. P.J. Hill misread the route. He never looked back for the ball. Travis Beckham is talking to P.J. and now Brett Bielema comes out and wants to know where the confusion was. Stocko throws to Hill, who never looked for it. And it's picked off by Bellamy and returned for a touchdown. Illinois has the early spark and the 6-0 lead pending the extra point. The Illini shift into their point after touchdown opportunity here and try to make it 7-0, and they do. John Stocko has only been intercepted 3 times this year. That is the 4th. and it comes back for a score.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Stocco, when he comes out, he's reading one thing. He's looking at that outside backer. He drops back, so he's thinking P.J. Hill is wide open, which he was. Hill's got to look back for the ball, and number 31 again, Trevon Bellamy, great read from the corner position out there, comes underneath and picks it off and returns it to the house for a big, big play.
Well, he's just a freshman, but that was Bellamy is just a freshman. Hill a freshman as well, and somewhere in that route they missed. You should see Joe Thomas on the Badger sideline. He is after his offensive line mates. Joe Thomas doesn't often get irate, but he is an angry offensive tackle on the sideline right now for Wisconsin. And we'll see how the Badgers come out of this next set. Wisconsin trailing in the ballgame. There you see Joe Thomas. He just let him have it a moment ago.
And I tell you, when he speaks, because he doesn't do it a lot, boy, those ears certainly perk up, and guys, listen, I'll tell you, he's a heck of a player.
The kick goes out of bounds, and that's a significant penalty on the kick for Illinois. Badgers will get great field position as the ball is kicked out of bounds. That's the last thing you want if you're Illinois, and it's what Ron Zook is saying. We get a little spark of momentum, make him return the football.
Out of bounds, number 13, kicking team.
Illinois' offensive starting tackle, Charles Miles, I think that is just going to the locker room for Illinois, so his return at this point would appear to be doubtful.
Still limping a little bit. I'm sure Joe Thomas got after his line and said, you know what, we're not going to win this game by passing because we can't. Stocko's 0 for 5 right now. We've got to establish the line of scrimmage, win this game with Wisconsin football, and that's running and pounding right down your throat.
Badgers haven't trailed very often this year, but they do today. They fell down 3-0 at Purdue last week. P.J. Hill comes off the left side with the gap, hits the 37, maybe the 38-yard line. And Illinois is fired up right now, and P.J. Hill's not getting up right now.
Not sure if you got the wind knocked out of him. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Usually see the legs flopping around. It's good that they're moving, but usually it gets the wind knocked out of you, and that's a tough thing. If you've ever had it done to you, you know exactly what we're talking about. But you get number 65 for Wisconsin pulling around Marcus Coleman, the center. You get Joe Thomas leading around there. But Illinois, time and time again, has corners and outside backers that are taking on blocks, plugging the holes, and not giving an alley for PJ to run through.
Doug Pilcher was one of the big hitters on the play, and it may very well be that. They're not looking at anything below the hips on Hill, which as a running back is always your concern, is ankle, knee, and I think you're probably right. Hill has had an outstanding start to his college career here this year. In the first 8 games, P.J. Hill is 6th in the country in rushing. He's number 1 in the Big Ten. He's averaging 146 yards per game on the ground. His touchdowns rank him number 4 in the country with 14 touchdowns, but he has not gotten up yet from this one.
And he's averaging over 168 all-purpose yards too, and he just got lit up there as he's cutting in. Somebody takes out his legs, and then the linebackers come and finish him off, the D lineman, and I think you can tell that when he got hit with the way the ball was and the helmet's getting into the chest there, that knocks you down a little bit.
The Badgers will bring their huddle towards the sideline. It's Lance Smith who has joined that group as they walk to the sideline, but Brett Bielema and the entire medical staff for the Badgers standing over P.J. Hill, want to make sure that everything there is okay. He's propped up a little bit more, sitting up, and I think you're absolutely right, Mel. I think that's a wind knocked out of you. And there's no way to explain that feeling if you haven't had it happen.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things where everything tightens up. You can't get a breath in, you can't get a breath out. It's just tight until the muscles relax, and then you can start going in and out. But there's nothing worse than that feeling where you can't breathe, you can't talk. They're asking, what's wrong? And you can't say a word. At that moment, they know, okay, we just got to sit and relax a little bit, get him back, get his wind back, and he'll be all right.
Well, they're going to give him pretty good blows. He's walking all the way down to the end of the bench with the medical staff. They'll take a look at him, and the Badgers have it 2nd and 8. And there's Lance Smith. A little miscommunication, runs out of his shoe. So Lance Smith playing with one shoe on that play, or was it an Illinois player? It was Lance Smith lost his shoe and picks up maybe a yard on the play. It's 3rd and 9, and this is not the type of first quarter that Wisconsin has been accustomed to so far this season.
No, they've been able to move the ball up and down the field, not necessarily getting points, but at least establish the line of scrimmage, and they've got to start doing that now as time starts running out in this first quarter.
It's 3rd and 9, and the Badgers are 0 for 3 rather, on 3rd down so far today. And that one is going to be almost intercepted. Should have been intercepted as it went off the hands of Travis Beckham, and it should have been intercepted. It wasn't, and that is a big break for Wisconsin.
That's a huge break, and Stocko reading downfield. Beckham's wide open. He's got to make that catch, but as those two guys come up from Illinois, number 18 for them, Alan Ball, and I didn't catch
Justin
the other
Harrison.
Justin
Was
Harrison,
the other,
yep.
yes.
Beckham makes a great play back to his defensive days to knock it away from those two.
So DeBush will punt for the 3rd time here with just inside of 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Low snap, fields it, good rush, low line drive. Halsey stepped up. Did it touch him? Did it touch him? It's picked up by Levy, and he'll run it in. Now we'll find out if it touched him. It did touch Halsey, and Wisconsin has the ball at the Illinois 12. A big mistake by Illinois on the punt return, and Wisconsin will take it over. They'll look at it again. They're going to look at this over and over again in the replay booth immediately to our right.
Boy, from the initial time in real live scrimmage, we saw that sure looked like it hit him on that replay. I'm not so sure that just bounced right through his legs.
The ruling on the field is we had it touched by the receiving team and then picked up by the kicking team. The ball's dead at the spot of possession.
The ruling on the field is that Wisconsin recovered a ball that previously touched an Illinois player. So the ruling on the field has Wisconsin football at the 12, but they are going to review this play. And it may have very well just gone right through his legs and never touched him.
I tell you, that's going to be real close, Mike. From this perspective, it looks like it bounced and hits him as it goes through there because the direction of the ball changes, but it also bounced as it went through. I'm not sure if that hit the pin.
That's, you know, just judging by the way it looks on the views that we've seen so far, I think it's Illinois football.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. This is probably the best one.
View, yep.
Doesn't hit his hands. Boy, that certainly looks like it went through, Mike.
I think if they get the call right here, they're going to turn it back over to Illinois. The ball will be at the 12, 13-yard line, but it's going to be Illinois football, judging by the way that looked. Well, this is why they have replay in college football, and the goal here is to get it right.
After review, we have video evidence that the play on the field stands correct as called. It was touched by the...
All right, they're saying on the field that it stands as called. Apparently from the information we get from our truck is that ESPN had one more look at it and one look that we don't have, and that look showed that it hit his foot because our video does not see that. The video we have, I couldn't see that it hit him, Nelly.
Yeah, the one end zone view that we do have, he was blocked. The other one, it certainly looked like it didn't go through as he hopped over the ball that way, but that's why they have that. They get a number of different views to spot the football, to see if it touched him, if it was completed pass, all that sort of stuff, and they got it right.
Lance Smith is the tailback. He's in behind Andy Crooks. Wisconsin has been very sluggish to start the football game. Big opportunity here. Let's see if they take advantage. Smith darting inside the 10 to the 9-yard line and a pickup of 4.
See a little jitterbug action that Smith brings to the element of the game. He's quick feet. He gets up there. He's not as powerful as PJ, but I tell you what, this is a spot where they have to capitalize. They can't just get 3 points. They've got to come back with a touchdown. They've got to drive down the field, take control of this ball game, and if they can't do it here, you give Illinois all the momentum in the world.
You see PJ Hill. It may have also been a neck or a head deal the way he's moving around on the bench, and the medical staff still with him. If it was just the wind knocked out of him, he'd probably be back on the field by now. Red zone, Badgers have been good. Lance Smith to the outside, cuts it back inside of the 8. Illinois swarms to the ball, and it's 3rd down now. They still have an opportunity to get a first just outside the 2-yard line, but it will be 3rd and 4, maybe 3rd and 5.
And bringing in Daiwan Rowan now for Lance Smith, get a little more meat in there to drive down the ball. But Lance Smith shows his speed outside, makes a good read as he cuts upfield. But again, the linebackers are running so well. Number one, Vontae Davis, a freshman cornerback, running and playing his assignment well that a lot of times there's no place for the running backs to go.
Stocko shifts them into this play in the final minute of the first quarter. And he'll drop back and look to throw. Left corner, caught by Crooks, but short of the first down. They'll mark him at the 4, and it will be 4th down, and Wisconsin will get the time to think about this one. I don't think they'll kick it in this quarter.
I'm not so sure that that's what Coach Bielema wanted to have happen. If you're going to make a pass, take a shot in the end zone. Try and get the points, because you're not going to save anything by getting 2 yards on a play there with a reception to Crooks. Go for it. Put it in the red end zone and see what happens. And that time Stocko wasn't able to get it done.
And a sloppy first quarter for Wisconsin comes to a close. The Illini played Penn State very tough last week, and they win the first quarter today. It is 7-0 Illinois at the end of 1. We'll continue with more of Wisconsin football coming up next. This is Badger football on Wisconsin Public Television.
Presentation of Badger football on Wisconsin Public Television is made possible in part by Goodman's Jewelers. John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers, proud of the tradition started by Robert and Irwin Goodman. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933. The Mendota Gridiron Club, the official fundraising organization for University of Wisconsin football. University Athletic Department, with official information about Badger athletics on the web. The Wisconsin Alumni Association, connecting, enriching, and serving UW-Madison alumni and friends for more than 140 years. UWalumni.com. And by the Badger Fund, the Wisconsin Athletic Department's annual fundraising program, 14,000 donors supporting 750 Badger student athletes.
Welcome back to Camp Randall Stadium, start of the second quarter, and Wisconsin trying to get on the board. They trail 7-0 on an interception return for a touchdown. Taylor Melhoff will be on to try a short field goal of 21 yards from the left hash mark. 21-yard field goals are ones you never want to have to kick.
Yeah, those are ones that you got to get 6 points or 7 points out of it. The Badgers, up to the point right now in this season, have been very, very good in the red zone of getting first downs and getting touchdowns. And this is one where they really needed 6 points. They're going to settle for the 3, which is fine to get on the board, but they got to produce better than this.
Melhoff is 8 of 10 in field goals on the season, 3 for 3 in this range from 20 to 29 yards. From the left hash mark, the Bush is the holder. Snap is good in the hold, and kick are both good. So Wisconsin is on the board. It's 7-3. So they settle for 3 off the fumbled punt return by Illinois. So a pair of turnovers in the ball game directly leading to points. Illinois scores 7 on the interception return for a touchdown. The Badgers get 3 out of a fumbled punt, a muffed punt by Illinois, and Wisconsin gets it at the 13-yard line but can't get a first down and settles for a field goal. John Stocko is off to a very slow start, 1 for 7 and 4 yards in the air in the first quarter.
Yeah, and that's not typical John Stocko fashion by any means, but this Illinois defense is wreaking some havoc on them, getting some pressure, covering down on the receivers, plugging the holes in the running game, and they haven't been able to get on track with what they've normally seen the last 4 weeks. And that Illinois defense being put in a hole because of that muff punt comes up big, stopping a touchdown and forcing a field goal there by the Badgers.
The Illini are 2-6 on the year, 1-3 in the Big Ten. Their win coming against Michigan State. Wisconsin has been very good in the middle quarters, the second and third quarter on the season. They've outscored their opponents 86-13 in the second quarter and 68-16 in the third quarter. They'll need that run today as they trail 7-3 underway now here in the second quarter. Melhoff has been very good on kickoffs this year, sends that one deep and playable 5 yards deep, and Illinois will stay there. So the Illini will take over at the 20-yard line on the big kick by Melhoff.
Swirling wind, the wind died down just as he went to go kick the ball, and he made complete perfect contact with that.
There's only 5 quarterbacks in the country that are freshmen and starting, and Juice Williams of Illinois is one of those. There's some success in Arkansas and in Georgia, but the other freshman quarterbacks are doing what freshman quarterbacks normally do, struggle.
Exactly.
And Juice will start at the 20-yard line. Motions back into the backfield to help him out here. And now runs the opposite way. The pitch to the outside. Roderick Rogers comes up and runs Mendenhall out of bounds after a gain of 5. And it wasn't Mendenhall, it was Duwan Warren, who is listed as a wideout, but Illinois runs so many different types of formations that anybody on the field can carry the football.
Yeah, and they run them in a motion. They line them up in doubles, which is 2 receivers on each side. They motion the guy and they shift him in, and it creates a lot of difficulty on the defensive side trying to play sound fundamental football. You never know where they're going or coming from.
It is 2nd and 5. The Illini have run it 8 times for 23 yards so far today. And the blitz coming. Zalewski missed him. Now Zalewski will get him on the second try. Missed him once, got him on the second trip through, and it's essentially a no gain. They tackle him at the line of scrimmage, and it's 3rd and 5.
And Wisconsin was very lucky on that. Zalewski coming through the first time, trying to bring him down, grabs on, but he's big and strong, and as he's looking downfield, he's got number 6, a wide receiver, Chris James, wide open running down the field. At the last second, Stelmacher saw him, but if he had time to throw, they're still running to the end zone.
It is 3rd and 5. Illinois is 1 of 3 on 3rd down today, and they'll line up in the shotgun. Williams has it on the direct snap. Now Hayden chases him out, make that Chapman. Throw to the right sideline in front of Langford, and it is caught for a first down.
I tell you what, number 91 Coleman, or Chapman, trying to get down there as quick as he can, rumbling and stumbling, trying to get after the quarterback, and it's good coverage downfield. He breaks through a double team, starts chasing after the quarterback, but you see the speed as he throws it. Langford's right there, but a perfect throw and a perfect catch for the first down.
Kyle Hudson made the catch. He's the one that had the big day against Wisconsin a year ago, 10 catches for 114 yards last year. He's got 3 touchdowns on this season. And to the right side, Illinois with a big gainer, Derek McPherson on first down.
That was a direct snap to him. Right from the start, knew right away there was going to be a sweep off the left side of the defense. He gets the ball, he starts coming up on the corner, and that's the ability that Illinois has because of the talent they have. They can give it to a running back, they can snap it to the quarterback, they can hand off, but defense has to recognize that as him lining up in the quarterback position, probably not going to be a pass.
It is 2nd and 4. 13 minutes to play in the first half, and the Illini lead Wisconsin in a shocker so far, 7-3. Inside handoff fake, and Juice wants to throw, looking right side deep, not there, throws left side, wide open, and caught by McPherson. Makes Stelmacher miss. Now cutting to the far sideline, and inside the 10 to the 7-yard line.
The only reason he's down is because he slipped on the 10-yard line. Otherwise, he's taking it to the house. Great call by the Illini there. They crossed up 2 guys, screwed up the safeties in their coverage, playing man-to-man coverage. You can see right there, Stelmacher trying to cover down on one guy. As he sees a guy cross his face, he comes wide open, and McPherson secures the football. Then it's off to the races.
52 yards to the 8-yard line. And Illinois is in the red zone, and they have had success there. 17 of 18 in the red zone this year. 9 of those for touchdowns. And they spread it out. 4 receivers. And Juice will keep it to the 5. He gets hammered, but drives forward, still on his feet. Now pushed back to the 5-yard line. Juice Williams, not a shifty quarterback. He's a big, powerful quarterback, 6'2", 220.
Yeah, he's not a guy that's going to get out there and shake and bake you to death. He's going to lower his shoulder and run over you just like a running back would. He knows what he needs for a first down, and he fights for it and gets everything that he can get.
Badger defense in the red zone has allowed just 5 touchdowns in 17 trips this year.
They're going to have to show up here again, stop them from getting a touchdown. They got to hold them to a field goal.
Juice Looks in, runs the option near side, pitch to the outside. Oh, and if he doesn't trip up, it's a touchdown. But Pierre Thomas lost his footing. He was going to walk in the end zone, Scott.
Yeah, there was no question. I think he almost got too excited as he cut up there, but sound fundamental football is an option. One guy plays the quarterback, one guy plays the pitch. He's doing that, but there's nobody to fill in the alley. You got to have your linebackers running to fill that gap right there. And you are exactly right, Mike. If he doesn't trip there, he's scoring 6 for Illinois.
It's 3rd down and goal, and the ball is marked at the 2-yard line. Double slots right, 2 backs splitting. Juice Williams in the backfield from the shotgun. Now he runs one out in motion. Juice looks to throw, flat left side, touchdown. Right in front of Jonathan Casillas. It's thrown to Pierre Thomas in the flat. Wasn't bid on quick enough, and it's an easy touchdown for the Illini, who lead it 13-3.
Trying to run a little misdirection by putting a guy in motion, and Casillas, instead of reading his guy, the back is out wide. Know that he's going to release outside. Give yourself a chance and slide over. He didn't do that. He's running late to the football. They score an easy 6.
So Illinois has a chance to jump up 14-3 with an extra point here. It's on its way and good. Well, and there is a shocked sense of awe here at Camp Randall Stadium. This is unexpected. And some would look at it and think that this was kind of a trap game before Penn State next week and on the road at Iowa. But regardless, Illinois is better than advertised, and so far Wisconsin has not gotten up off the turf following an opening interception return for a touchdown.
You know, and it's interesting that these guys out here, Wisconsin's young too, but Illinois probably doesn't know any better. They're in front of 80,000 people. No big deal. We're winning this ball game and doing well and getting the job done, beating a team that's ranked in the top 20 right now.
Wisconsin basketball team being introduced in the north end zone. First polls of the year came out yesterday on Friday in the preseason polls. Wisconsin is number 9 in the ESPN coaches poll. This year, the Badgers look to extend a school record of 8 straight NCAA tournament appearances, led in part by one of the preseason All-American candidates, Cam Taylor and Orlando Tucker. They'll get in the end zone. A little dance. Badgers, a lot of anticipation for this basketball team. They'll open with an exhibition game in 6 days, Friday, against UW Stout at 7 o'clock.
I certainly hope the Wisconsin football team will enjoy dancing in the end zone here at some point.
Our first broadcast will be December 4th.
Thomas, a simple read. You see him out wider a little bit there, and it makes an easy read for Juice Williams. He sees the linebackers not adjust. One guy sliding, Stelmacher's trying to get somebody to cover out on number 30 there, Pierre Thomas, but Pierre releases outside. Casillas doesn't react quick enough.
Is that just a missed assignment then?
Well, when you motion a running back out, guys have to adjust, and you're trying to communicate as Stelmacher was there. You've got this back, you've got this tight end, and making sure the communication is checked all the way down. Casillas didn't get it enough, and you're right, a blown assignment. A lot of times you'll see it's either a first down or a touchdown that occur, and that's exactly what happened.
8 plays and 80 yards on the drive. Big one, the pass play to McPherson that covered 52 yards. That's the one that set up the score. And Illinois has jumped the Badgers. 14-3 is the score. About 4 minutes, just over 4 minutes into the second quarter. And I don't think Illinois is surprised, because I think they had a little something in mind coming into the stadium here today. Badgers are the ones that look as though they're a little bit caught off guard.
Yeah, they've got nothing to lose coming in here. They're 3 for 5 on third down conversions, which is where Wisconsin's defense has been tremendous. Coach Bielema calls it the money down. We get off the field or get on the field, or stay on the field, and they've done a great job up and through this game.
Illinois showed a formation on the kick that got Wisconsin reacting to a potential onside. Instead, it goes deep, and Minton has room on the far sideline, outside the 30 to maybe the 32-yard line. Illinois has lost 3 consecutive and 6 of their last 7 games. Their last 3 games were losses against Indiana, 34-32, a team the Badgers throttled in Bloomington. They then lost to Ohio, not Ohio State, Ohio, 20-17. And then last week, a much more competitive game, losing 26-12 at Penn State, but a game they dominated statistically. Wisconsin has P.J. Hill back on the field and trailing 14-3. Stocco looks to throw and gets drilled. He got hammered. Chris Norwell.
Fumble ball, and Illinois recovers too. Wow, I'll tell you what. Chris Norwell comes through there and just puts a lick on John Stocco there. And Stocco's got to read that, but for whatever reason, number 63 for Wisconsin misses his assignment. The right guard, Craig Urbick, gets thrown off his block, looks back, starts yelling at Stocco to look out, but they finish the job. The fumble, and Illinois recovers. Now they've got great field position from the 24-yard line, looking in again to score one more time.
Well, the Illini take over on the second Wisconsin turnover, and it's at the Badger 23. Quick change here. See if Illinois tries to jump on it on the first play. Juice Williams trying to set up a screen. Nothing there. Now runs the wrong way. Comes this side, inside the 20, and all the way down to the 16.
Jamal Cooper trying to strip the ball there instead of making the tackle. If you're the first guy, secure him, lock him up, let the second and third guys come in. But you're right, it's a screen out to number 5, Rashard Mendenhall for Illinois. The Badger defense on that side reads it. The defensive lineman force a chase, and then Juice decides to tuck the ball and get upfield for positive yardage. And again, great read recognition from a young player.
Well, Cooper gives up some size. Cooper is 6'4", 206. The quarterback is 220. Now they motion McPherson into the right of Juice. And the fake pitch, and Williams comes back to the near side. He's down at the 15, maybe the 14-yard line. He'll be short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and a yard.
We talked about it a couple times in the option. Sound fundamental footballs. They cover down the pitch. Williams reads that. Hayden sees him, forces him back, and he has to cut all the way across the grain, which is where all the flow is coming from. And the Badgers did a good job of securing those gaps and making sure he can't get around them for positive yardage. Levy coming through there, Zalewski, and then Monty finishing them off.
Well, big play here for Wisconsin. And on a 3rd and 1, I don't think he got it. They tried to run it right up the middle, tried to sneak it with Juice, and we'll see where the mark is coming from the far sideline. If it's that line judge, he's close, but I don't know if he has it. The spot is down, and
Wisconsin's
the referee going to look at it.
Yeah, the Wisconsin interior linemen and linebackers really forced that back. He did get a little surge forward, and that's where they mark it. Even though they drive back as the play continues, they mark it in the furthest point forward, bring it down, they bring out the chains to see what happened. But good call by them, and a good call on defense to get up there, stay low, and force your pads down and make sure that you plug those holes.
Big measurement here for Wisconsin, and it is a first down for Illinois. 8:29 to play in the second quarter. The Illini lead Wisconsin 14-3. And they have the ball in the red zone where they are just about automatic. Illinois. They are 18 of 19 on the year in the red zone.
And Wisconsin's defense hasn't had their backs against the wall as much as they've had pretty much all year, with the exception of Michigan in this one game alone.
That pass for a touchdown on the last possession, just the 3rd passing touchdown the Badgers have given up all season. The first 2 came to Mario Manningham at Michigan. Juice keeps it on the design quarterback draw, and he is close to the 5. Williams having his way on a design quarterback draw. It is marked just outside the 5, and it's 2nd and less than a yard.
And Hayden, normally the tackle on the outside there, shifts down a little bit, but does a good job. The Illinois line does a good job of kicking him out. The other 2 linemen, the tackle on the end, get blocked out. It creates a huge hole for the running back to go through.
2nd down, ball is at the 5-yard line. 3 receivers to the top and 1 near side. And it's given to the near side, and running through a tackler is Pierre Thomas. It is 1st and goal.
Little misdirection trying to get Juice Williams. They make the handoff, and he runs out like he's going to do the option. It freezes that side, really forces unmatched coverage for the Illinois offense there to block down. It was 4-on-3, and he gets up for positive yardage, bring him down for the first down. But what a great position to be in for the Illini, looking to go up 21-3.
Well, it's been a long time since this stadium has been this quiet. First and goal, and under center is Williams. Rolls to the right, keeps it, and is denied at the goal line. Good defense.
Very good defense. Probably should have looked to pitch the ball. In that case, you had both outside backer and a cornerback blocked. Pitch it to your running back, let him use the speed to get to the corner. He reads that, decides to tuck it up instead, and he gets met there by Matt Shaughnessy, number 92.
Well, Shaughnessy doesn't have a hold. Shaughnessy only has about 10 pounds on the quarterback, too. Big quarterback. Second and goal at the 2. Everything in tight. Fumbled snap, no. Quarterback draw. Did he get it? I don't know if he lost the ball initially or not. He did not get the end zone. That play had a funny look to it.
Yeah, it certainly looked like he dropped the football and then had to jump up and recover it. Take a look here. Oh, yeah, he did fumble initially and then did the right thing. Recovered it, tried to get forward for positive yards, but great recognition of recovery on his part, and then for the Wisconsin defense to bring him down short of the end zone.
They're going to go quick. Illinois jumps right into the center, in through the crowd and close to the end zone, and a touchdown by Pierre Thomas. So Illinois went quick count, and the Badgers weren't quite ready. It's a touchdown, and the Illini have stunned the Badgers 20-3, 5:45 to play in the first half.
Good call on their part to get up there and hustle. Wisconsin's defense was late setting up the previous couple plays. I'm sure the offensive coordinator for Illinois saw that, decided to go on the quick count, got him a touchdown.
And the extra point coming. And it is good, and it is 21-3 Illinois. Well, this is a big surprise, and Wisconsin is in a big hole with less than 6 minutes to play in the first half.
There you saw number 30, Pierre Thomas, the guy that just scored the touchdown, reads his hole, looks at going over the pile, and decides at the last second, you know what, there's a hole to the right. I'm not going to jump. I'm going to go right through it, hit the crease, and get over the goal line for a touchdown. And their offensive line right now is controlling the line of scrimmage. They're getting down to the second level, and they know what they need for a first down. They keep their pads low, and they drive and take out the legs of the D lineman for Wisconsin. They couldn't run to cover down for the touchdown, and instead it's 6 points, Illinois.
Scoring drive is 8 plays and 24 yards in 4.5 minutes. Here's the stat of the game. John Stocco is 1 for 7 and 4 yards in the air. He's thrown an interception return for a touchdown, and on the last possession he got hammered and fumbled the ball, and it's 2 turnovers for the Badgers, leading to 14 points for Illinois.
We talk about this matchup here for Wisconsin. We take a look at standings and whatnot for the Big Ten right now. It's pretty interesting if something happens here with Wisconsin as they don't match up and do well with what they're doing today. But you see Illinois 1-3. You mentioned a couple close games in the Big Ten. Wisconsin 4-1 with the 1 loss to Michigan. But I tell you, there's some games that are going to shake some things out here through the Big Ten Conference, Mike.
Well, this is one of them right here. This is perhaps the biggest and most monumental game of the day, at least the way it has gone for the first 30 minutes, 25 minutes. Illinois, this would send some reverberations through the league, because Wisconsin, by all accounts, has been thought up to be the team playing for the Capital One Bowl, the 3rd position in the Big Ten. Well, that all changes if the Badgers don't get up off the mat against Illinois team that has seemingly gotten better with each passing week, even though their record doesn't reflect a very good season at 2-6 and just 1-3 in the league. They looked pretty good last week, awfully good last week in their loss at Penn State, and they're looking like a team that is ready to play today, as opposed to Wisconsin that so far hasn't looked ready.
And then they lost the close one to Indiana. They're there. They're right on the edge of winning a couple close games instead of losing a couple of them. And right now, this isn't even close. They're flat out dominating the Wisconsin Badgers. And for a team ranked in the top 20 against a team that is on that bubble, with what a marquee game this could be, in a breakout game for this team for Illinois.
Well, the Badgers have 20 offensive plays for 38 yards so far in the game. Wisconsin runs a lot of people up near the kick line, and it's a short pooch kick to the right that is fielded at the 22-yard line, and down right at the spot is Wisconsin on the catch.
And here's some of the fans getting upset with all this, but I tell you, that's exactly what Illinois wants to do. They shuffle guys around. Usually it's a manned-up coverage. You know exactly what number guy you have to block on that kickoff team, and if they shift it around, it screws up that count. And instead of communicating in the back end, which you have to do, they luckily caught the ball, got it down, and it's theirs. But I tell you what, that's something that Illinois practiced and they want to get done, and they got the job right there on that kickoff.
Talk about domination. Look at those yards on the screen in the second quarter. Not good for Wisconsin. Stocko looks to throw. This time he has time, but is flushed out. Runs it to the 30. It's a gain of about 6, and it's 2nd and 4. Wisconsin began the game with 5 consecutive runs by P.J. Hill, who now has 9 carries for 38 yards on the day. They established in that first set some offensive prowess, but weren't able to get it past the 45-yard line of Illinois. Forced a punt. Since then, they've done nothing.
Well, and since really that interception that was returned for a touchdown, they haven't been able to do anything. They're still blocking and running hard, but this Illinois defense is jacked up, ready to play, and they're bringing everybody.
Corner blitz coming. Stocko throws near side, dropped by Hubbard. Right in his mitts. Would have been a first down, in and out of his hands, and nothing is going right for Wisconsin. They're controlling it, by the way. I don't mean that they're getting bad breaks.
Right.
It means that Wisconsin hasn't played yet. That one goes through Hubbard's hands and onto the turf.
And Stocko, 1 completion on the game, but that's a catch that has to happen. That happened with Beckham earlier in the first quarter. It happened right there. He's got to have his guys catching the football. Otherwise, they're going to be in predictable situations for the defense. When you go 0-5 on third down conversions, that's not typical Wisconsin football.
And that's 3rd and 4 right now. Wisconsin in a must-have third down. Blitz coming. Picked up. Stocko has time. Comes near side. Caught. And it's a first down by Beckham and more to the 40 and to the 45-yard line. Travis Beckham with the biggest play offensively for Wisconsin on the day. See if it gives them some life.
Well, that had better give him some life, because I tell you what, for him dropping the pass like we mentioned in the first quarter and almost having it picked off, same play. This time he catches a difficult pass. Stocko let him just a little bit, but as soon as he catches, he's an athlete. He's making plays and he's getting downfield, lowers his shoulder, delivers a blow to the defense for another yard.
Travis Beckham, one of only 3 tight ends in the country with more than 500 yards receiving. And Stocko hands to Lance Smith, tries to bounce to the outside, holds his feet at the 45. It's a pickup of a yard, but it's 2nd and 9.
That actually was probably a better run than just a 1-yard gain. Cornerback for the Illinois #1, Vontae Davis, reads it, comes in off, and Lance Smith is quick enough to see it, plants his foot, cuts up into the seam, and gets positive yardage, but you don't see too many guys that can juke a cornerback like that, make a miss, even though it was a 1-yard gain.
Well, it is not a good start for Wisconsin, but if you can salvage something here in the latter stages of the second quarter and have some momentum going to the locker room, it would make a ton of difference coming out for the third quarter. Stocko on 2nd and 9, rolls a little bit to the right, throws back over to Beckham. He had his man beat, makes him miss at the 30, carries it to the 23, maybe the 22-yard line. And Stocko took a shot after the pass, slow to get up, but he is up. And another big play by the big play machine on offense, Travis Beckham.
You'll see Stocko, a little misdirection with Lance Smith. He comes back on Crooks, gets beat by number 44, Britt Miller. Delivers a strike, but Beckham getting downfield, catching the football, and what a tremendous move. As he gets downfield, he reads his running, or the linebacker, he gets to the open area. Stocko, it's a big target for him to hit. What a great move there for him to get more yardage.
Well, he beat Justin Harrison twice. He beat him off the line of scrimmage, and then he beat him after he caught the ball. It's 1st and 10 at the Illinois 23. And near side, Lance Smith hops to the outside at the 20, to the 15, and the 13-yard line. And a good downfield block held on by Luke Swan.
Swanee going against pretty big boy, number 44, Britt Miller. Swan as we talk, the quarterback juice for Illinois is big, and the linebackers, their response not real big going down there and getting them. But I tell you, Lance Smith shows his speed. The things he's got to know is once they get out there, you got to plant the foot and you got to get north and south. You can run as fast as you can, sideline to sideline. You're not going forward. It doesn't help your team at all.
And that's a first down for Wisconsin, now in the red zone for the first time since midway through at the end of the first quarter. Second time in the red zone today at the 13-yard line. Stocco to throw. Blitz picked up, comes near side. Crooks to the 5. He fumbles it out of bounds at the 3.
I bet you if you go talk to Andy Crooks right now, that was a designed fumble, trying to get it down a little extra yard, gain a little bit more. But those are the simple plays that they ran a couple times.
The ball was fumbled forward and out of bounds, comes back to the spot of the fumble.
Ball is marked back at the spot of the fumble at the 3-yard line.
Good read by Stocco. Yeah, good read by Stocco. Crooks getting through there, getting open, a big target again for Stocco to throw to, and as he gets downfield, just got to secure the football. You can't give those up.
Well, they're going to come out. They're going to bring the chains all the way across the field to measure whether this is a first down. 3 minutes, 15 seconds to play in the first half, and for the first time today, Wisconsin is showing some life. They trail 21-3.
Just short, about a half the length of the football. And I tell you, Mike, though, they haven't done anything all day, and all of a sudden a couple plays, Stocco to Beckham, a go-to receiver for him all season long, has made some big plays, a big first down catch. The next play, hit him down for about a 40-yard pass. Those are the things now when they come to the sideline, as they talk in the huddle, they've got to regroup on, they've got to continue those things, and it can't just be Beckham. It's got to now be your running backs. It's got to be your line blocking and securing for those guys for the running backs and protecting Stocco.
Previous plays being reviewed.
Have your defense show up. They haven't hardly done anything yet today.
Well, and the way it sets up, the play is being reviewed on the last catch by Crooks. Now, I think what they're going to try to determine is if he had the ball secured, because as he caught it, he didn't have full possession and he put it down to his hip. What they're going to try and determine is whether he had full possession of the ball before it was knocked loose. I think there may be a question as to whether it's a completed pass or not.
I don't think there's any question. If that's what it is, it certainly looks like a completed catch to me. As he releases out there and Stocco fires it out to him, he's got it for about 3 or 4 steps, and then gets knocked down as he turns upfield.
Either that or the spot of the football. When the ball is fumbled forward, there you see it down on the hip. When the ball is fumbled forward, they mark it at the spot of the fumble rather than where the ball ended up after it came out of his hands. So I think that the call on the field.
After review, we have indisputable video evidence. The ball was fumbled at the 4.5-yard line. It will remain second down.
So they're going to back the ball up.
Clock will start on the ready.
So it makes it second and about a yard and a half. Not a big change. With 3:15 to play in the first half, Wisconsin desperately needing to get this ball into the end zone.
And you're exactly right, Mike. There's no reason why they can settle for a field goal here. They've got to get to 6 points. They've got to get regrouped as they've started to do on this drive, but they got to finish the drive, and that's with 6 points.
Badgers have scored 24 touchdowns in 35 trips into the red zone this year. It is Lance Smith, the tailback, replacing P.J. Hill. He'll get the carry, bouncing it outside left, punishing to the 3, maybe the 2. It should be a first down.
And that far official coming in the spot, it certainly looks like he's giving him a first down with his foot. But boy, that's going to be real close again.
He's got it. Yep. Marked it a first down. So it's first and goal, and the ball is just outside the 2.
We just talked about Lance Smith a couple plays ago, knowing when to plant your foot, drive your shoulder upfield, and get positive yards. There he certainly did, putting a lick on number 42 for Illinois.
Lance Smith, just a shade under 200 pounds.
42's number Kevin Mitchell, a safety, trying to fill in where the linebacker should be.
First and goal, and the ball is at the 2-yard line. Stocco under center. Smith hops left side to the pylon. They'll mark him close. Is he in or out?
I think the side official marks him out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
We're going to look at this one, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. Good play. Josh Neal getting out there and lead blocking as he turns upfield. Yep, he just got his
gets
foot.
it, but remember, it's where the ball is, and the ball there probably never crosses. Maybe very well a good call.
Right there he's out. Yep, about the half-yard line is a good call. Good spot.
So it's 2nd and goal, and the ball just a shade inside the 1-yard line. Neal, the up back. Smith diving in. Does he have it? No initial signal. They'll look at it again. Both line judges run in from the sidelines, and it is 3rd and goal.
About the 6-inch line right there. Boy, I certainly thought he almost got over there. Good thing he didn't reach the ball there, because there's guys that kept coming at him and filling in there. But good initial surge, and Lance Smith, he's just short of the goal line. Boy, is that close.
Well, 3rd and goal, and the clock ticks inside at 2 minutes to play here in the first half, and Stocko bobbing his head coming in. I think he's letting them know. Now they reset. They're going to have to reset the play clock here is what John's saying, because the official from the top side ran in. Now they're going to reset the play clock. Good call. See, John had his team coming up to the line of scrimmage, Stocko did, and the line judge from the top of the field ran in, and that held up the offensive line coming to the line of scrimmage. So Stocko asked them to reset the play clock, which is what they did. 3rd and goal, big play. 4-down territory. Smith again, this time wide open on a cutback. And the Badgers are in the end zone for the first time today.
Get a little life going on this offense now. Get out there and congratulate Lance Smith. They ran virtually the same play. All the linemen taking a hard step to the right, sliding down, and Lance reads it, gets the hand up, knows that it's a simple cutback because all the defensive linebackers are flowing to his right. He's got a corner and an outside backer to beat with unblocked, but a huge hole because everybody over pursued. Good call.
That's a big play and a big touchdown for the Badgers, and the extra point is added. It is 21-10. Now you have to see if momentum will carry. You've got to shut down the rest of the first half. The drive is 11 plays, 76 yards in just under 4 minutes. Lance Smith taking it into the end zone on 3rd and goal from the 1.
Lance Smith fired up, true freshman, playing some good football right now for Wisconsin. But you see the lineman take a hard step on the screen, all to our left. Lance Smith reads that, gets the wall down there, and he's got one guy to beat going up in the end zone. It was an easy read for him. Big-time touchdown, get the Badgers back on the board.
Barry Alvarez is going to join us for the 3rd quarter of tonight's telecast, so stick around for that after the half. The trivia question today is the Badgers and the Illini played the last tied game in NC Division 1A history. NCAA Division 1A history. The last ever tied football game. Won't happen again. What year? We didn't have that on the screen, but what was the score? And Nellie and I both knew this without seeing the answer. We both knew the score, and pretty sure on the year, too.
I think Barry might remember that one, too.
We'll get you that answer in just a minute while you look it up. Barry Alvarez will be in the booth, and the other Barry Alvarez is permanently situated outside of the south entrance to Camp Randall Stadium, unveiled a couple of weeks ago. It's kind of funny, isn't it, to look at yourself in that setting? Coach Alvarez, 16 years on the sideline, and now for a couple of years running, the athletic director, and changing the fortune of this program, the Adidas shoes. A watch set at 7:24 on the left wrist. And there's the head coach. He'll join us up here in the booth for the 3rd quarter of this one.
Yeah, it's got to be hard for him to come out and see a game like this, knowing his trained eye and understanding what this is all about, to see the mistakes that have been made and the things that they've done on the field that isn't typical Wisconsin football.
Well, here's the answer to that question. Last tie game ever in Division 1A football was Wisconsin against Illinois. And it was 3-3, 1995. November 25. Who kicked the field goal? It was not Jim Bakken.
It was. Do you know?
It wasn't Taylor Melhoff either.
No,
was it John Hall? getting questions from the truck. I didn't know we were going to be
Mike
riddled with
Samuel
questions.
and Darrell Bell were the two quarterbacks that played in the game.
Melhoff hits it to the 3. And Illinois on the return, and with a gap out to the 28-yard line where the Illini will take over with 1:36 to play on the clock. Badgers have 2 timeouts remaining. Illinois has their full complement of 3 timeouts. It's be interesting to see the philosophy here for Ron Zook and the Illini.
And this is where their no huddle early in the game is going to play benefit to them now, because they're used to having the right personnel out there. Now they can just roll and go through plays as they want.
Well, they come in under center, which would suggest they're going to run it, and they do. Mendenhall darts back towards the inside and gets the 30-yard line, and Wisconsin will take a timeout. At least that's the signal from the sideline. And now it's called with
Timeout,
1:18
Wisconsin,
in the second quarter. So the Badgers are going to try and force Illinois into making some other decisions, and if Wisconsin can play a tight set of defense here, they get the ball back for another shot here in the second quarter.
Well, and as a former defensive coordinator, Coach Bielema knows exactly how important this is. Maybe not to get a play call or anything for his offense, but to regroup his defense, show that they can make stops on a critical situation late in the game where a lot of teaching can take place now. And he's out there, he's giving direction to these guys. He's got Dave Dorn again out there as a co-defensive coordinator, teaching and helping these guys to understand now it's 2nd and 8. Let's get another stop. We got another timeout. Let's force them into a situation where we can dictate what play they're going to run to us.
Carolina State, nothing. And in the second quarter, Syracuse, Cincinnati tied 3-all.
Statistics in the bowl game have evened up considerably. Illinois has 139 yards in total offense. The Badgers with 114. But Illinois leads at the pay window, 21-10. Now the Illini shift and set the offense. Again, under center is Williams, the freshman quarterback. And handing off right side, and again stopped after a gain of about 3. Wisconsin will use their final timeout. Because they used one early, if they get the ball back on a stop here, there won't be much time. And no timeouts left at that point. Because of the change of possession rules in college football, even after a punt, if that's indeed what happens, once the ball is put on the field and marked in play, the clock starts.
Right. I think at some point here, very quickly, you'll see the offensive linemen start getting up. John Stockwell, his running backs and receivers start getting up. So if that were the case, they'll run out on the field as quickly as they can to run a play, spike the ball, whatever they need to do to try and get in a situation to score.
So they say 3rd and 5 with the Illini leading by 11, 1:13 to play in the first half. Stocko had a very rough start, a good last series out there. He's now 4 of 11 for 59 yards. Big 32-yard catch and run by Travis Beckham. Only 2 Badger receivers have caught the ball, both tight ends. Beckham has 2 catches, Crooks has 2 catches.
Stockton, before that last drive, was 1 of 7, went 4 for 4 on that last drive with 2 big completions to Travis Beckham.
And now Juice Williams will line up in the shotgun and motion it back out of the backfield. It is 3rd and 5. And Juice looks, at least initially, looking to throw. Lots of time. Now scrambles up, going to have a first down. Makes a man miss. He's going to get the midfield stripe and more to the Badger 46. And now you'll think Illinois is going to be the one that wants to take some timeouts. Instead, they'll go right to the line of scrimmage and call a play here. The Illini at the Badger 47. And the advantages of a mobile big quarterback show itself there. Williams drops his mouthpiece, tried to chase it down, picked up by a running back. Throws out right side, caught near the sideline, and taken down at the 47, and now Illinois will take a timeout.
Alan Langford, Jonathan Casillas.
I'll tell you what, for him to run down the
Illinois,
field,
they're first.
25 yards for a big 3rd down conversion, lower the shoulder, drive the Wisconsin defenders back, then line up, make the play call, and he drops his mouthpiece, but he regroups quick enough to make a completed pass. Get out there, they call a timeout. They just got to get probably about another 10 yards, 15 yards in order for a first down, but good pitch and catch there by Illinois.
DeJuan Warren is the receiver on the catch. Now, there's not a player on the Illinois roster from the state of Wisconsin. Normally you call these games against schools in your vicinity border battles, but this doesn't seem to be that. You know, when Wisconsin plays Iowa or when they play Minnesota, you call them border battles against Illinois. Not a single player on the Illini roster from the state of Wisconsin.
Right, it's probably more because of the location where Illinois is. If you take a look at Northwestern right across the border, it's probably more relevant for that. But that's part of what Barry Alvarez did. He built up a wall around the state. In Illinois, Ron Zook's going to do that. Northwestern's doing that. They're building a wall up around their state. They don't want their top talent going somewhere else.
Second down and 4, 47 seconds on the clock, and the Illini in Badger territory at the 41 and already leading 21-10. Badgers show blitz and Williams checks out. Now they bring up 3 linebackers and a defensive back close. They're going to come anyway. Wisconsin comes, and the throw over the middle is caught inside the 20. It's carried inside the 20 by Jeff Cumberland. So the Badgers guessed blitz. They might have shown it too early. Illinois checked out in a big-time play to a tight end.
And that's what's tough when you get an outside linebacker. Casillas, in this case, trying to play man-to-man coverage. He starts getting a little lazy with his feet. He overruns him, and luckily Akiguana comes through and makes the play.
That ball is caught on the right sideline, right in front of DeAndre Levy. And the ball is complete again to Cumberland, and with 27 seconds, Illinois has stopped the clock.
Timeout, Illinois. They're second. I got a mic.
Defense has really got to step up here now. They've been challenged with only 27 seconds left in the game. You see Juice going out there. He knows I'm going to the right side real quick. I've got man-to-man coverage. He reads it. Levy almost makes a big-time play, but perfect position for the throw. Great catch by the receiver and gets down for make it 2nd and 3.
Well, worst case scenario here for Wisconsin is you want to, best case scenario rather, have Illinois settle for a field goal attempt.
Right.
You just can't let the ball get in the end zone here, and any momentum you gained in that last offensive set is completely out the window. You're down 11 now. If you go down 14 going to the locker room, you're down 2 touchdowns.
Right.
You can live with that. If you're down by 3 scores, it's much more difficult to go to the locker room with.
Well, and with the young team as Illinois is, like we said, they don't know anybody. They're going to go in the locker room. They're going to get fired up. They're going to come out and know that they can beat this Wisconsin team because they've dominated this first half.
It is a 2nd down, and the clock is stopped on the timeout. Illinois shifts. Williams makes a line call. Now steps back. He'll go in the shotgun. Takes the direct snap, looks underneath, caught at the 4-yard line. First down, Kyle Hudson. And Illinois will go to the line and spike it. Clock is stopped as they move the chains. There's the spike. And with 20 seconds to play, the Illini have it 2nd and goal at the 3.
Good old momentum switch back to the Illini sideline right now. Those guys are up. They're excited. They're fired up. You see in Wisconsin, they got their offense sitting on the bench right now, wondering what's going on. They had a good drive. The defense has not shown up today. And like in weeks past from what we've seen, they haven't made the big play. They haven't had the big stop. They've been on the field a lot longer than what they're used to.
Illinois still has 1 timeout remaining. Williams looks right side on the slant, incomplete. Clock stops with 16 to play, and it's 3rd down and goal.
Good read by Roderick Rogers there, playing man-to-man coverage, trying to get the linebackers to come in and blitz, coming off the edge, and Rogers reads the quarterback, locks down on his man, then comes right across the top. Perfect timing to knock that ball away. Good play.
Well, big play in the ball game right here. 3rd and goal, and the crowd trying to get into it. Badgers show blitz. Williams, wide open, dropped. Oh, big play. What a big break for Wisconsin. Dropped by Cumberland, who could have fallen into the end zone.
All he's got to do is secure the football first, catch it, secure it, and you score. Ike Iguano on man-to-man coverage, gets crossed up in the middle, gets knocked off his man. Now he's in a chase. It's good read by Juice Williams there. Good throw. That's a simple catch that you've got to make. Big play for your team right there if you do that.
Well, that cost Illinois at least 4 points. And that's what it is. The field goal is good with 8 seconds to play. And the Illini steal some of the momentum back after the Badgers march the length of the field to cut the lead to 11. It's back to a 2-touchdown game. It's 24-10, and Wisconsin has given up 24 points in the first half to Illinois.
That's not typical Wisconsin defense by any stretch, but that's 2 drives and a couple tough situations for that defense. They've only given up 6 points in that. The trouble is they've given up some big plays at critical situations, and that's the time where it's money down, like Coach Bielema says. You either get off the field or you got to stay on, and so far they haven't produced when they've needed to get off the field and get some rest and let the offense continue with the momentum, driving down the field and scoring points.
The Badgers have given up only 17 points or more than 17 points, just one game this year they've allowed, and that was the loss at Michigan. Other than that, the most points they've given up in a game is 17, and that was a 52-17 win against Indiana. They've allowed 9, 12, and 3 points the last 3 weeks for the 24 in the first half of the day.
One of those touchdowns was real late in the game against Indiana, against the number 2 or 3 defense.
Jarvis Minton picking and choosing his way before going down to the 24-yard line. And the first half is over, and not a good one for Wisconsin. At the break, it is the Illini 24, Wisconsin 10. Back for the second half and joined by longtime Badger football coach and athletic director Barry Alvarez for the third quarter. Stick around, that comes your way next. This is Badger football on Wisconsin Public Television.
Wisconsin Public Television is made possible in part by Goodman's Jewelers. John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers, proud of the tradition started by Robert and Irwin Goodman. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933. The Mendota Gridiron Club, the official fundraising organization for University of Wisconsin football. University Athletic Department, with official information about Badger athletics on the web. The Wisconsin Alumni Association, connecting, enriching, and serving UW-Madison alumni and friends for more than 140 years. UWalumni.com. And by the Badger Fund, the Wisconsin Athletic Department's annual fundraising program, 14,000 donors, supporting 750 Badger student athletes.
And welcome back to Camp Randall Stadium for second half coverage. Wisconsin and Illinois. The Illini lead it at the break 24-10. Barry Alvarez joins us in the booth. And what's the teaching points? What are the points of emphasis in the locker room at halftime?
Well, we've done some things the first half that we haven't done all year, and that's big turnovers. We've given them 14 points, and then when they gave us an opportunity, we only got 3. We got a field goal out of it. So you can't. It's difficult to win when you give somebody easy points.
Wisconsin's turned it over a couple of times. One an interception return for a touchdown. Another fumble deep in the own end, and that set up another score for Illinois. Let's look at some of the first half scoring plays in this game. There's the interception that is returned for a touchdown by the Illinois secondary as Stocco tried to go to P.J. Hill out of the backfield, and it's just an ill-advised throw, Barry.
Yeah, I thought PJ's covered up. They have him leveraged inside and out, and John tried to force the ball in there. There wasn't a throw.
B.R. Thomas, one of Illinois' backs here, gets out of the backfield and just in a flat, and it looked like it might have been just a blown assignment, Barry.
That's man coverage, and you can see Jonathan Casillas is late on him.
And they get in the end zone again here on a short run off the right side, and he plunges into the end zone, and that gave Illinois a bigger lead. Wisconsin finally answers with Lance Smith on a cutback at the goal line there. It's just a designed cutback play here, and Lance reads it well, walks into the end zone. Yet Wisconsin is down 2 touchdowns as you start the second half. And the statistics at the break, Illinois is dominating in total yards, 206 to 114. And rushing yards, I think, would be one of the big concerns at the break here, Barry. They've been able to run it with their quarterback.
Yeah, the quarterback has created problems, and you know that. When you have a guy like that, he creates a lot of problems for you. You have everyone covered. He pulls it down and flushes. It'll be very interesting. We have not been behind at the half all year. This is the first time. It'll be interesting to see how our guys respond. Illinois
will start the third quarter with the ball off of the opening kick. They return it out to the 26-yard line, and the Illini will start on offense with a quarterback that has been doing all of the damage for him so far, Barry. Big quarterback, Isaiah Juice Williams, 6'2", 220, but he's been their offense.
Well, he's created plays, whether it be with his feet or biding time, flushing out of the pocket and throwing completions, moving the chains.
So it is a first down for Illinois to start the third quarter at the 26-yard line. Single back for Juice and the Badgers in their base defensive set. And it goes off the right side. Pierre Thomas busts through a broken tackle, and he'll get the 34-yard line.
You notice they run a no-huddle offense, but it's not a hurry-up no-huddle. Really, they'll have 3 different paces that go on. Right now, they're getting lined up. The 34-yard line. The clock hasn't even started. The clock just cranked. They'll take a look at the sideline. He's taking his time, seeing what we're lined up in, and then audible from there.
It's a second and short for Illinois, and this is an important possession of the ball game, Barry. I know that Wisconsin scoring a touchdown later in the second quarter. Pierre Thomas run out of bounds or near the sideline. Forward progress will have about a yard to go. But the Badgers get the touchdown late, and then Illinois coming back. At least you had them force him into a field goal, but some of that momentum was lost.
We lost a little momentum. We did have it. We called a couple of timeouts to stop the clock. But they had a third and long that they converted and then allowed them to take the offensive and move down into scoring position.
Well, the crowd gets into it for one of the first times today. It's a big third down and about a yard and a half. And Williams again looks to the sideline and motions one of his slots into the backfield. Run the option near side, and on the pitch, it's good for a first down. They run the pitch out to McPherson. Ball comes out late, but whistle had blown. Whistle had blown the play dead.
McPherson, the ball carrier.
A lot of times, Coach, I think what we've seen in this option all day today is guys are coming down the quarterback, but they're not getting to the pitch. They're getting there real late, giving them a 4 or 5 yards, running downfield, which gets them an easy first down on that.
Yeah, their receivers are doing a nice job of tying up our corners. We played the quarterback pretty well on the option. Our defensive ends do a pretty good job because they can run against the option, but we need quick support outside. You're exactly right, now.
It's a first down, and the ball is at the 39, and Williams looks to throw.
There we go.
Well, Zalou stepped in front of it. He read it, stepped in front of a throw by Williams, and there's the first big break of the second half.
Well, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a turnover. You're looking for a momentum swing. I always talk about the pendulum. The pendulum is the momentum. They've had it. Now we've got it back. Now we've got to capitalize on it. Time for the offense to go to work.
That happened with Stocker was throw to PJ early in the game. They capitalized. Zalewski's in perfect position. Ill-advised pass from their quarterback. Juice just throws it low, but Zalewski's in the right position. Picks it off. Big turnover. A quick start for this defense that really got dominated in that first half.
Second interception on the year for Zalewski, and PJ Hill is back in at the tailback position. It looked like it may have been a neck. We didn't find out any specifics on PJ, but he's back in the lineup, and Stocco looks to throw on first down. Coming near side for Minton, and just missed him on the sideline.
You know, I've got to mention, that wind is a factor down there. I was just down on the field. It's swirling. It's more of a crosswind rather than directly into you. So that a ball like that gets up in the air is going to float a little bit. You know, you've got to drive the ball. That's a tough throw right there.
Yeah, it changes the type of passing game you're going to have, because a ball like that, you just don't know what's going to do once it's in the air.
Exactly right. I thought it was interesting. We opened up. We had the momentum. We tried to go for a big strike right there.
Second down and 10, I backfield. Ball is in Illinois territory at the 44. Hill on the delay, left side, has a gap, runs through a tackle. It's about the 40, so I'll pick up 5 on the play.
Good lead blocks up in there. The only thing he needs is Beckham to lock down on his receiver out there as a receiver. If he does that, PJ can turn the hill and get a lot more than what he got right there.
You know, you're sitting here looking, guys. You're on the 40-yard line. You probably have 2 cracks at it here. You probably have 2 runs at it if you run the ball on this down.
Yeah.
Just taking a look at field position, type of game this is.
A little bit more than 3 minutes going by, third quarter. Wisconsin in Illinois territory, just inside the 40. Stocko looks to throw. Does left side. Wide open is Crooks. And it is a first down. And the tight ends have been the only receivers so far today for Stocko.
It's been a nice conversion. Those two converted linebackers. You know, Andy Crooks has made a couple nice catches today. And that's the type of game I think Paul Chryst expected coming into this. He expected underneath things because they're playing a cover 2 shell, 2 deep safeties. They're driving those linebackers deep, so you have a cushion underneath.
I think it's helped with Beckham too. A couple of big catches he's had when he runs downfield. They've got to cover downtown. If they don't do that, he's going to go for a big score. That time Crooks came up underneath for an easy catch.
PJ spins off the 1, keeps his feet, drives forward for about 2. Illinois got into the backfield a little bit on that one, but PJ running through the first 2 tacklers. Makes something out of nothing.
Illinois has been a good, their defense has been a good run defense all year. They create some problems. They're a veteran group. They're a group that does a lot of movement up front. They'll zone blitz you. They're never going to sit still, but they're a very active defense.
It's second down and call it 9. Ball rests at the 27. Stocko to throw. Looking over the middle, has Beckham, runs through 1, keeps his feet. What an athlete.
Tremendous effort.
17.
Tremendous effort. He was laid out. He was hung out to dry. That linebacker had a look right in his face. To me, that's the linebacker in it. He's going to take a hit, didn't stop, he didn't flinch with the ball coming and somebody coming right into his face.
He runs right over Alan Ball. Here you get a look at Travis. Alan Ball, the corner, comes up and hits him. But that's all he did, Barry, is he just hit him. He didn't wrap up, and Travis is a heck of an athlete.
Number 18 thought that I think Travis was a wide receiver, was just going to flop down. That was pretty good. That was a good effort.
John's going to throw it near corner. Swan to the end zone. Touchdown.
Good throw and catch. John Stocko threw that ball before he was out of the cut. Swanee, great route and catch.
These are the things, Mike and Coach, that when you come out, you get a big stop on defense, the turnover, offense comes out, and they drive down the field. That jacks up your defense to get hungry, get back out there, stop them again, get the ball back in the offense's hand.
That's exactly right. Who's got the momentum? You know, you always watch the momentum in the game. We took it, and we took advantage of it. We've got it. Let's see if the defense can keep it.
And, Barry, that was that driving pass you talked about. That was a bullet, and in this kind of a win, that's a better throw.
The wind doesn't affect that throw.
That's a bullet. That's a fastball. That's a pitcher. Stocko throws a strike to Luke Swan for his 3rd touchdown of the year, and we got a football game again.
Swanee again the first quarter had one where he almost caught that when John laid him out there and almost brought it in. This time right on the money, and Luke gets a perfect catch, knows where he's at to get his feet down, and then turns up, reaches the ball just over the goal line to get the touchdown. Great play.
Good protection. All starts with the protection. Got somebody coming from the outside. Got PJ. Helps. We have 2 backs help in protection. Give John plenty of time to take a look at it.
And he had not only did he have protection, but Barry, he had a lane to step up and throw that ball through, and that becomes important for a quarterback's vision. He had the lane where he could get it to Luke.
That's exactly right, Mike. You have to be able to see your receivers. John did a nice job of stepping up, and he did have a good route and a good vision line to it.
And a part of that, too, is over the progression of Stocko's career, he's gotten better at sitting in the pocket, moving into position to see through those lanes where he has a protection, and then finding the open guy. And you can see that this year, a tremendous year as far as numbers are concerned, in leading this team with a really what amounts to a very inexperienced offense.
I think so much of that is just a feel. The quarterback has to feel the pressure on the outside and be able to step up. When he feels the pressure, step up and get that rhythm. know the rhythm when your receivers are making their routes and making their cuts and then delivering the ball.
John had a really rough start to this football game, but now he's 7 of 15 for 98 yards. He had the interception. He had the big hit he took in the backfield, in which he didn't secure the ball, came out, led to another set of points for Illinois. But he's a fifth-year guy. He's a senior. Joe Tillard told Brett on the field last week at the end of the game, he said, your quarterback's really playing well. He's playing like a senior quarterback ought to play. Well, that becomes really important in a game like this.
Well, he's taken over, and he has shown, I'm sure, if you go in that huddle, if you're a set of eyes looking back at him, you see composure. You see someone who's been there before and is exuding confidence as this game goes on.
See the BCS poll that came out for the first, it came out this week with Wisconsin now in 18. The Big Ten has number 1 and number 2 in Ohio State and Michigan, 2 best teams in the country, Barry.
Well, that's where they're voted right now, and I've seen them both in Michigan up close, and I do believe they are the best teams in the country. Those first 3 teams really determine their own destiny. If whoever wins out in those 3, if they win out, they're going to play in the championship game.
Melhoff to hit it. And the ball fell off the tee just before he struck it. And you know what? That's an awfully good decision by Taylor to not hit it.
I've seen you screw up a tee shot when that ball falls. You try to hit it on the run.
I've done that before.
I don't think you could have pulled off that one, Mike.
I wouldn't have let up.
You'd had a little velocity in that club.
It's just coming out. Taylor does a good
nice
job.
by Taylor.
If he hits it, it's in play.
Yeah, it's in play. And they've been trying to field it down around the 30, maybe the 35.
Coach, let me ask you a question on that BCS stuff. If Wisconsin is lucky enough to run the table themselves with 1 loss, does that disqualify them from the BCS games?
You cannot have 3 teams from a league in the BCS.
Okay, now, you think that's fair if you've got a team that's 11-1 in this situation? They've done what they had to do. All they can do as far as control their own destiny, winning games, that just because we happen to have the top 2 teams from the Big Ten undefeated or with 1 loss, Ohio State, Michigan, to me that doesn't make sense.
Well, there's Taylor knocking it into the end zone. There are going to be a number of 1-loss teams that don't get into the BCS. The BCS really is established to find 1 and 2.
Right.
To establish who 1 and 2 are, and everybody knows the rules, and everybody knows what the formula was before the season started. You're really at a disadvantage if you're not ranked high.
Yeah.
And, is that fair? No, it's not fair.
What it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
You see that improving the system for the BCS games, improving over, obviously from the time it began to where we are now?
Yeah, the fact we've just added another BCS game allows 2 more teams to get in BCS games.
First down for Illinois, and they go to the ground and running it, popping it to the outside is Mendenhall, who'll get close to the 28-yard line.
Somebody lost containment there. You can't lose contain. That ball bounced outside. We had good force and pressure up the field, and it looked like we were going to have that play stopped. But whoever was responsible for containing lost it, allowed him to get around the corner.
Well, it is a freshman quarterback for Illinois, and with that last throw in the previous offensive set where he throws it to Zalewski, Ron Zook might have him say, hey, we're going to keep this ball on the ground, whether it's you or a running back.
Yeah, I think he's going to mix it up. This kid's been the reason that they've moved the ball on offense because of the fact that he's done it with his feet. When he drops back, whether he throws it or runs it, he's a threat. Yeah. So you can't pull your horns in now, not with a guy like that, a quarterback.
That last play, they've thrown a couple of different things and disguised the defense, blitzes, and their secondary coverage. That time Rogers came up, blitzed, and made the stop on that play. So they're mixing things up. Of course, some young eyes not to recognize what they're doing.
They're doing it late, Nelly, because if you watch their coaches are waiting to see what we're in, and then we're moving late. Make them do their mental gymnastics after the ball snapped.
Now Williams on a roll right. He cuts it up, and he beat the contain on the outside, made the turn up the field. Badgers looked to have it defended, and he turned it inside for a first down.
That's all his feet. We had that defended. We have somebody up the field.
Jason Chapman, number 91.
Chapman knocks his guy up the field. Now, here's the mistake right there. We get we get somebody stacked right up on Chapman, they should have gone to the next level.
Well, it's Cooper.
Yeah, you got two guys stacked.
Jack, actually.
Shaughnessy and Jack.
Yeah.
We had two guys stacked. And anytime you have that, you have a seam. They got to replace each other.
So it's first down for Illinois. Ball is sitting at the 20 at the 33-yard line. 9 minutes to play, third quarter. Option near side. Mendenhall catches the pitch. Runs out of a couple of tackles to the 43.
Again, you can see the wide receiver or the slot receiver ties up DeAndre Levy and moves him, gets him out of play so that the pitch can get the ball and get down the field.
Is there some way that you can defend that better? Is it
somebody
easy to go to
down the
man-to-man
alley.
coverage, though, where you can lock on a running back and just go get him?
No, zone is the best. We've got somebody on the quarterback. We've got someone on the pitch. You need an alley player, and I don't see an alley player surfacing, whether it's a safety or a linebacker over the top. You need an alley player. You need someone on the dive, someone on the quarterback, someone on the pitch. They don't have a dive, so you need someone on the quarterback pitch, and you need an alley player.
Just short of a first down, so it'll be second and less than a yard.
See, they're starting out. That's the third series in a row that they've started out with a 9-yard run on first down. They dictate the game. They're dictating. The offense is dictating because second and short, they can do whatever they want to do. He's got a waist down here. He can take a shot downtown, or he can run the ball and try to pick up the first down.
So yards on the ground today. These are the top two rushing teams in the Big Ten. Wisconsin number 1 and Illinois number 2, but the Illini have controlled yards on the ground so far today. A lot of them coming from the quarterback. Williams has 55 yards on the ground. Tail back through. He's going to be short of the first down. Badgers stack it up, so it'll be third and short. Again, ball at the 42.
You can see when they line up in the quarterback up under the center and they're running based up, our defensive line is getting a push up the field. When we have a problem, you can see it right here. Watch our front. Look at their guard. Our guard and our tackle knock their guys up the field. That forces the run. There's no run lanes there. When we have a problem is when he's got a deep at quarterback and he can see the run lanes.
Well, Nick Hayden's been a factor all game
Coming
long,
out
getting
quick
up the
here.
field.
They go kicked it wide open, and he missed it. Oh, he missed
Big
it.
break.
He had the right call. I mean, I tell you what, they had us. That's good football play right there. That's a good play that you could see. They executed that very well. They run to the huddle. They break the huddle quickly. They come to the ball. The defense is quick. They're anticipating a sneak or a hard dive into the middle. You get play action. The receiver gives you a little run fake, like he's blocking down and releases. Quarterback overthrows it. You still have to execute.
That's exactly what they ran in that first or second quarter touchdown they had, where they did dive up there. Mendenhall scored. That time they caught him. 2 or 3 guys tackled him, and you're right, Coach. The receiver faked the run block and then released downfield. Stelmacher's in chase then.
Yeah. You know what? That's just little lack of discipline. His eyes wandered. His eyes went off of his key, and he went to try to jump the ball carrier. They're really struggling. They're last. I believe one of the last teams in the country in net punts. And every one of these punts has been a shank.
Right.
That's a heck of a series. You think about that. We had 2nd and 1 there, and we end up getting the football on their 36-yard line, 34-yard line.
Yeah. Big turn of possession there, forcing Illinois to punt. At the halftime, just a short while ago, one of the legendary figures in Wisconsin athletics had his number and name revealed on the near facade of Camp Randall Stadium. Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch, you see him back there in the uniforms in the 1942. 19-year-old freshman, came from Wausau, standout prep high school football and basketball player. In that 42 season, Wisconsin was ranked as high as 3 nationally. Hirsch rushed for 786 yards and passed for 226. Also had 390 receiving yards. Got the nickname Crazy Legs from Francis Powers of the Chicago Daily News, who wrote that Hirsch ran like a demented duck. Elroy not only played at Wisconsin just the 1 year before he then went to the University of Michigan in Marine training, but then Elroy came back to the university as an athletic director and was here for a long time, restored lost pride at the time into Wisconsin's athletic department and football program. Passed away just a couple of years ago, and he had an impact on a lot of people at the university.
He really did, and I think you said it best when you said he brought pride back to the state and the university, and what a special person. I feel fortunate that I was able to be around him for several years, and I've made the statement, you know, with the NFL as it is today, with the characters that you have, and if Elroy Hirsch played today, they couldn't pay him enough money. He was an entertainer 24 hours a day,
he was
as you
star.
know.
Yep. You can learn more about the 1942 Badgers from a Wisconsin public television program called World War II Stories Legacy. You can log on to wpt.org/sports to find out more about that. Wisconsin takes over the football at their own 34 and trailing by a touchdown just about midway through the third quarter in this one. Stocco on a play action. Beckham runs underneath, but he's got a man wide open deeper. That's Swan inside the 40, out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
A good bootleg pass. You saw he brought Beckham came from the opposite side. He's the underneath trailer. You get your linebackers. The linebackers have got to bite. They've got to play the run.
Well, this is, Coach, where you see him coming across. They've set this up in weeks past and forced Illinois to scheme for this stuff, and everybody kept jumping on Beckham, Beckham. Finally, they released Swan out there for a secondary route. Really became the primary guy. Good job again for Stocco releasing the ball and Swan catching the ball and getting downfield. It's a good play call.
It's a first down at the Illinois 33 for Wisconsin here in the third quarter. Blitz coming. B.J. Hill through the initial bust and gets the shot at the 30, make that the 26-yard line. He took a shot coming up in there.
I'll tell you what, that safety really came up.
PJ's not going to get up right away on this one.
I tell you what, he took a heck of a shot, right?
Now, PJ went down in the first half and didn't play a lot in the second quarter, and I don't know if this is a playoff of that initial ding or not, but he takes a shot right there in the backfield.
Yeah, you can see he's hung up. His legs, he's got people hanging around his legs and really can't move any place, so he's a sitting duck. He's a target there, and that the safety has a full clean run at him and a shot at him, and he hit him high. You know, that safety did a good job. We don't know what was wrong with him, whether it was neck or shoulder or his wind knocked out early on, but he took a very good shot right there.
Lance Smith did a pretty good job in his stead in the first half. He's a really young kid, Barry, and now if he comes in and plays more downs here, Daiwan Rowan is another option, but Lance is a guy who saw some limited time as the season has gone on. Some of that time limitations was due to missed assignments or preparation that wasn't up to where Brett Bielema wants it to be. But now you got to count on a guy like that or Daiwan Rowan to come in.
That's why they try to teach him discipline early on. You're late for a meeting. You don't take the proper angle, to hit the proper landmark. Your eyes aren't in the right spot. All those things are important because all of a sudden you're thrown in a game where the bullets are flying. It's live, and you got a good defense, and everything has to be right, or you're not going to get anything. And I think his first play, he was a little tight on John, but he brings a little more speed, and you really like to see him have a breakout game.
Hill goes to the sideline with 12 carries for 50 yards, and Smith is the tailback. He'll get it here, bounces outside, then back up towards the center. He'll be just about a yard short of the first down and bring up a third and very short.
The times that he's run that play, Vontae Davis, number one, the cornerback for Illinois, has come off his guy and come very hard. He's closed down that angle and forced the running backs to cut up inside where all the pursuit is coming from. So he's recognizing and reacting very quickly.
Let me show you something, if we can get that replay again. He's making that cut way away. You want to get right to the heels of your lineman before you cut. You don't want to cut in space 3 yards behind your lineman.
Third down and about a yard. Smith gets it, make that Daiwan Rowan, and he gets eaten up behind the line of scrimmage. And it's third down, make that fourth down and about 2. And with the wind the way it is, this is 4-down territory, so you're going to get another shot at it.
Rowan needs to lower his shoulder, knows what he needs for a first down, and that's his bread and butter is the power running game. Lower the shoulder, run those guys over. Don't give them a chance. You don't have the quick feet like PJ or like Lance. Get the job done.
We had someone come off the edge there. Somebody came off the edge, got penetration. He had a free defensive lineman. We don't see many guys come running free against us, but somebody got penetration there.
4th and about 2 for the first down. Stocko to throw. Blitz coming. Picked up by Rowan. Comes near side. Beckham with a catch and a first down. Gutsy Cole. Good throw. Great catch.
I tell you, good lot of poise shown by that quarterback. And you go to Travis Beckham, a converted linebacker. That's a clutch catch. Move the chains. Keep the football.
Well, Beckham, that's his 4th catch on the day, 73 yards on the day, and one of them was probably about 40 yards for most of that, but he's becoming the go-to guy game after game after game. Now he's the big target.
John pretty fired up on the reaction after that one, too, and it's 1st and goal at about the 8-yard line. That's Rowan. Plays off a 1, gets the 6, maybe the 7-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal.
I'll tell you what, I'm seeing good fundamentals by Illinois. Their shoulders square. When you have your shoulders square, a defender has his shoulders square, you don't get extra yardage. Wherever you make contact, you drop it. If you're turned, a back can spin off and you can squeeze for extra yardage. But you can see where he got hit, that's where they spotted the ball. That's good defense. Give Illinois defenders credit.
Ball's at the 6. Daewon Rowan steps into the backfield. Crooks motions out. Inside of 5 minutes to play in the 3rd. Stocko in the flat. Rowan on the catch. Can't bust the tackle. He's down at the 5, and the clock will roll.
Vontae Davis again, number 1, the freshman out there playing, but good recognition. Reading he's got a threat coming out at him. Forces the throw underneath and then breaks up and makes a touchdown-saving tackle.
It's pretty impressive. Look how high he hit him. That's a strong defensive back. Yeah. That's a strong play right there. Because Daewon is squatty. He's built low to the ground. He's strong. That kid hit him high. He hit him high, hit him in the shoulders, and dropped him.
That's what's called running through the tackle. Finish him off.
Lance Smith is the tailback. 3rd and goal. Stocko has a lane. Pops it out wide left. Nobody's there. Threw it. It got batted up into the air and out of bounds. And now the decision is made to kick the field goal with 4 minutes to play in the 3rd.
Just not a lot of room to throw down there. You run out of room, but as he flushed, this is where our young receivers have to improve. You have to get off of that guy. You have to find an open area.
You look here on the flush, and
John has time.
The receiver.
The trouble is he's rolling left. He's really confined to where he can throw the ball. He's confined probably just outside of the numbers to the boundary.
Well, it's a big kick. It's just a 22-yard kick, but you've got to get points on the board in the drive. Melhoff hits it, and it is good. So points on the board, 24-20. You're now much closer. You're closer than you were at the half. You've come out and scored the first 10 points in the 3rd quarter and had that pendulum swinging back your way inside of 4 minutes in the 3rd.
Yeah, you want to see 7 there.
Yeah.
You got the ball in the red zone. You've got first and goal on the 8. The thing that hurts you on first down, you get 2. Second down, you throw the ball, you get 2. We didn't get anything. We didn't get any extra yardage after contact in that tough area down there. And this is one of the better, you look at their statistics, you look at Illinois statistics, their red zone offense is very good, and their red zone defense was very good. And they've shown up today, both of them.
When you look at Wisconsin's offensive line, if you have more experience in the middle with Coleman, Kemp, and Ervick, a junior and 2 sophomores, might you be able to better drive, run that ball in? When you get first and goal at the 8, you might hit 2 shots on the ground first.
Yeah, you got to cover everybody up. These guys have played a lot of games now. This is their 8th game.
Yeah.
It's not that they're young players anymore. They've had 8 starts, a lot of snaps. You'd like to think that we can knock some people off the ball, but give the defenders credit. I know Paul Chris was extremely impressed with Norris. He's a short guy. He's originally started as a walk-on. He's a squatty body that creates havoc in there against everybody he plays. He's an effort player. You know, statistically doesn't show up, but he creates a lot of problems.
Ron Zook, as you see on the Illinois sideline, got kind of run out of Florida just after 3 years, but he looks like he has a tough character. Huh?
He's got a good coaching background. He grew up in Ohio, and he's coached at some of the better places in the country. He's coached in the NFL. He's a good football man. I think best known for recruiting. I mean, Zook is really committed to recruiting and just on the phone, on text messaging, writing. He is obsessed with recruiting, and he's done a very nice job. You see a lot of good young players on that team. And by the way, we're not too old either.
No.
We're the 2 youngest teams in the league. They're playing today.
Yeah. Now, the only difference is Wisconsin starts one more senior. And that's the difference between, and everybody's talking about Illinois all year being the youngest team. Wisconsin's right behind them, and there's very little separation there.
You're right. You're exactly right.
Wisconsin will kick it off. 3:57 to play in the third. And the Badgers have cut a halftime deficit of 14 points down to 4 points here by scoring the first 10 in the third quarter. So swirling, windy day at Camp Randall Stadium. I know Barry's going to move on here in just a couple of minutes. We'll keep him here for maybe the next series before he moves
Next
on.
time the clock starts.
All right. Melhoff to hit it. They're going to hold it in this windy conditions. Taylor drills it.
He drove that one.
That's a big weapon when you can keep the other team from having the opportunity to return kicks.
He's really kicking with a lot of confidence. You can see his body language. He feels good about himself. He's very confident when he lines up for a field goal. That long field goal last week really helped him. But he's been kicking well all year, and particularly his kickoffs have been strong.
Wisconsin looks to carry the defensive momentum that they've established here in the third into this series. Inside of 3:50 to play in the third, and Illinois starts at their own 20. This time Williams will start from the shotgun. Hands it off. Up into the center of the line. The Badgers stack it up. That was Thomas on the run. He's hit at the line. Newkirk drives him back, among others.
The D-line again getting in and getting penetration, forcing those linemen to block on them so they can't get to the second level of the linebackers. And Zalewski reading it, filling in the gap nicely, and blowing them up with a shoulder square like you talked about before, Coach, and driving them back.
You see Newkirk neutralizes too. Nobody could come off of him to go to the linebacker. You couldn't go to a combination block. That allows Zalewski to run free.
Newkirk, a state high school wrestling champ, has those explosive hips. Got in there at 2nd and 8. Fake handoff, and Williams wants to roll and throw. Right sideline, good defense under, threw it. It's incomplete, and it's 3rd and long.
One thing our coaches noticed in watching film, he can throw a BB, and he can throw it in a tight spot. And then the next time he may be 15 yards over a receiver or into the dirt. Been inconsistent as far as his accuracy.
That's a big play in the football game right here. 2:53 to play in the third, and it's 3rd and 8.
This is huge because you hold here, you're going to get good field position.
You got them in down and distance you want. Wisconsin will rush 3.
Just be aware of that quarterback's feet.
Williams steps up, has a lane coming near side, locked on the outside and out of bounds, short of the first down.
Good hold.
Hey,
Very
Barry.
good hold. You saw the speed of our defense right there. He flushed, and we saw great reaction, closing it, knocking him out of bounds, keeping him from getting to first.
That time
Coach,
we had
thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it. Barry,
Ike
gonna head
Iguano on that, number 6, coming off the corner there and really forcing the play because he forced him side to side. Didn't allow him to get upfield on that play.
So they'll punt it from the 25-yard line. 2:45 to play. Rush on. Got it away. A floater. Swan will step up and catch it at the 49-yard line. So outstanding field position on a short 26-yard punt. And the momentum has been all Wisconsin's in the third. One more opportunity here to take advantage.
Well, Coach touched on it after the punt. great field position. I think it's even better than what they first thought with the threat that Illinois' punter is, but making the catch, the offense is driving the ball, they're getting some points, not touchdowns every time, but the defense is showing up in the second half. They're executing very well. They're getting the job done, and the main thing is they're getting the offense back on there so they can rest and get geared up to play the next series.
Lance Smith is the tailback. Motioning Hubbard. Now he'll stop. Delay to Smith. Bounces near side. At the 50, spinning to the 49 and picking up 2. An impressive run. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Makes it tough on some of the old linemen when you got a guy that's such a jitterbug back there, number 71, Vandenhoevel for the Badgers. The tackle is trying to get downfield and block a little bit, and because he cuts so quickly, he ends up standing in the circle trying to find somebody to block. Well, you get Lance Smith making cuts off guys that he really needs to set those guys up to block better for.
Wisconsin has done most of their work today in the air. 150 yards in the air so far. Blitz coming on the corner, picked up. Time to throw over the upside defensive back, and a perfect throw by John Stocco.
Once again, number 1, Luke Schwann making a big-time catch, puts the ball right on the money from Stocco there. He hauls it in. Luke Schwann, I'll tell you what, is showing up in this game, and he's got them out of some tough, sticky situation. But Lance Smith all starts with protection again, knowing what he's supposed to do. And then Stocco right on the money.
That is just a great throw, and you hit it right on the money. Lance Smith, assignment football, picked up the corner blitz, took him off the rush, and gave John time to throw a perfect strike.
What a nice day for Schwann. 3 catches, 69 yards, and a big-time touchdown.
Lots of time for John. Now he step up, and he runs into the outside. Almost ran out of the tackle. Pickup of about 5, and there was more room there, and he was able to run out of one more.
I tell you what, I think John, when he made the juke move, kind of juked himself a little bit, but when he gets out there, that simple move took 2 defenders, and they hit each other. Nobody touched Stocco. You see here in a second, as he steps up, nobody to throw to. Great coverage downfield. He decides to tuck it and run. Their outside linebacker blocks their inside linebacker. Had he been able to stay on, he's still running to the end zone.
Ball's marked at the 26, approaching 1 minute to play in the third. Illinois leading by 4. Smith on the tailback, spin into the middle to the 20-yard line, and it's a first down.
Wisconsin's done this time and time again today, but they put Beckham on the weak side where the guard and then tight end does. You bring number 72 over, looks like he's a tight end. Big Joe Thomas seals off the corner and allows Lance Smith to get around the corner there, and then, like he does so well, get up to the second level, make people miss, spin, plant, cut, and go.
Well, this is going to be a fourth quarter football game. Wisconsin trails by 4, driving inside the 20-yard line of the Illini, 1st and 10. Stacked up, he'll lose a couple. That might be the last play of the third quarter.
It's a good play by the Illinois defense there. When you bring your wide receiver in to block down Minton, as he slides in, he's trying to do a crack block on number 18 for Illinois, Alan Ball, and as he does it, he can't get to him, so he goes to the second level. Well, now you've got 2 defenders on 1 blocker, and they did a good job, good execution on the blitz there.
Well, in the third quarter will come to a close. P.J. Hill sitting on the Badger bench. They'll play shorthanded, it appears, the rest of the way. Going to the fourth quarter, it is Illinois 24, Wisconsin 20. This is Badger football on Wisconsin Public Television.
Presentation of Badger football on Wisconsin Public Television is made possible in part by Goodman's Jewelers. John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers, proud of the tradition started by Robert and Irwin Goodman. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933. The Mendota Gridiron Club, the official fundraising organization for University of Wisconsin football. University Athletic Department, with official information about Badger athletics on the web. The Wisconsin Alumni Association, connecting, enriching, and serving UW-Madison alumni and friends for more than 140 years. UWalumni.com. And by the Badger Fund, the Wisconsin Athletic Department's annual fundraising program, 14,000 donors supporting 750 Badger student athletes.
is fourth quarter football here at the University of Wisconsin, Camp Randall Stadium. The Badgers go to the fourth quarter trailing. That's only happened once this year, on the road at Michigan, where Wisconsin suffered their only loss. In the fourth quarter of games this year, Wisconsin has outscored their opponent 52-41. It's fairly tight, and that stat is a little bit misleading because a number of those games have been well decided before the fourth quarter began, but not today. There you see the game statistics through three quarters. Badgers getting more done in the air than they are on the ground by more than 2-1. And they now have a slight edge in total yards. 2 turnovers apiece. Wisconsin turned the first turnover here in the third quarter into 7 points. Illinois has scored 10 points on the Badgers' 2 turnovers, so that's a wash. Second down and 13. Daiwan Rowan is the slot back to the right. Stocco having a much better 2 quarters after a rough first. Fake the reverse. Inside screen. Crooks to the 1. And a touchdown. I think they're going to. I didn't think he was in. Now they call that a touchdown on the field. They might look back at this one. Let's call it a touchdown now because that's what it's ruled on the field.
I tell you what, there's 2 things that set this up. Put Beckham in motion. They key on him because of the threat that he's been all game. Throw the inside screen to Crooks, but the block downfield made by Luke Swan sent Crooks to the end zone.
I didn't get that in the first place. Let me tell you how confused the announcer is because I didn't think it was even close to a touchdown. And then the linesman runs in and calls it a touchdown.
You see just on the left side of the screen coming right there, that block by Luke Swan put Crooks down.
Oh, you know why? As the ball came out.
Yeah.
But I don't think, by rule, they marked it at the 1. So it's first and goal inside the 1, not a touchdown. And now they're going to review it.
The previous play is being reviewed.
Well, now, I don't know. I'm going to admit my ignorance here. I don't know the rule. If you fumble it, can you recover your own fumble in the end zone? Because if you can, then this should be a touchdown.
Yeah, if you recover it as your own fumble, then yes, you can advance it. I think it's when you pick it up and one of your teammates picks it up, you cannot advance.
Right.
Watch this block by Swan right there.
Yeah, that's a good hit. Now, when a ball comes out there, you couldn't see it, but it's in the end zone, then if that's the rule, then it should be a touchdown.
The only thing that we got to check to see is if the ball comes out as his knee touches the ground. This is probably a better view right here. As he gets hit, I don't think he was down there, so that could be a touchdown.
I think the ball's out, and then when he recovers it, it's in the end zone. That's the good look. I think it's a touchdown, but we'll find out. It's the guys right next to us, the guys that I can look in their booth right next to me. It's those guys making the decision.
That the runner fumbled before he was down. The fumble went into the end zone, was recovered by Wisconsin. Touchdown.
There you go.
Touchdown it is. So the Badgers have come all the way from way back and lead in the football game now 26-24, pending the extra point.
Brooks, he gets knocked it up. He sets a mind to get down there and cover it up again. Tremendous job there, and Stocco helping the official out.
There's John. He waited. He got what he wanted to see, and it's a touchdown, Wisconsin. And the Badgers lead it for the first time today.
Just a misdirection again, putting Beckham in motion, which we haven't seen yet so far this year, other than the slide across the back end of the line. And then, once again, Luke Swan showing up today, doing everything right. Big catches for him. 3 catches, 69 yards, and a touchdown, and he sent Crooks to the house with a tremendous block downfield that time.
Badgers trailed in this one at one point, 21-3. The extra point is good. Wisconsin was down 21-3. And since then, the Badgers have outscored the Illini 24-3.
You know, Mike, people ask, is this team as good as what they are? Well, you know what? They've shown up this game coming from behind right now. There's still a lot of ball left to be played, and this Illinois team is showing they've got some ability. But Wisconsin has dominated this second half after being dominated in the first half. They have to continue that and keep keep momentum on their side for another 14 minutes and 50 seconds. They'll come out victorious in this game.
What the Badgers have remaining after today, and this one certainly a lot of football to be played here. It's in doubt, but Wisconsin leading by 3, getting up off the deck. Next, Penn State comes in here 1 week from today. Joe Paterno and the Nittany Lions. And then Wisconsin will finish the Big Ten season at Iowa City against the Iowa Hawkeyes. Whether Drew Tate is available to go in that one or not, we don't know. Iowa and Wisconsin on November 11th from Iowa City. And then the bye week for Wisconsin in the Big Ten season was November 18th, but because you're allowed to play 12 games, and you're certainly going to play as many as they allow, Buffalo will come into Camp Randall on November the 18th. Buffalo has been a sacrificial lamb for a number of big programs so far this year. Here's Ron Zook, and the Illini don't have a very easy go of it. They get Ohio State, the #1 team in the country, at home next Saturday, then a home game with Purdue, and they'll finish up with their in-state rival at Northwestern on November the 18th. That November 18th Saturday is highlighted by Michigan and Ohio State. That's the game of the day on the 18th. Wisconsin is home with Buffalo on that day. Brett Bielema on the Badgers sideline. Wisconsin has come from all the way back at 21-3. They lead it 27-24.
And Mike, when we look at some of the stats here, it's interesting. Stocker starts out the game 1 for 7, not very productive passing the ball. He's 11 of 12 his last 12 passes, and now he's sitting at 12 for 21. 1 interception, but 191 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 big-time plays, 1 from Luke Swan, 1 from Andy Crooks in that last touchdown they just scored. He's obviously regrouped and got the confidence back that he started the game with.
And you're doing it without P.J. Hill. You're doing it essentially in the air. Hill is on the bench now. We're going to assume that it's some type of a neck injury, sidelined for a good portion of the second quarter. He had a couple of good pickups here in the third, but on the last time he was on the field, he took another shot to the top half from above the shoulders, and he's sitting down with 12 carries for 50 yards. John Stockwell has done it in the air, and he's spread it around a little bit. Beckham 4 for 73, Crooks 4 for 47, Luke Swan has 3 catches for 69. And Melhoff hits another high, deep floater, carries to the 1. Cover up here on special teams, and the Badgers do. They keep Illinois inside their own 20.
You know, it's impressive when you watch. You get Melhoff kicking the ball in the third quarter and the first half into the end zone after they've scored. This time he doesn't quite get it there, but the coverage team is getting tremendous coverage downfield. They're sprinting down there. They're beating their blockers. And now is it wall of red shirts trying to hit the white guys, and those Illinois guys have nowhere to run.
So Illinois takes over at their own 19, and now they turn to a freshman quarterback playing from behind in the final quarter. Juice Williams gets eaten up but spins out of it. He'll still get nowhere, and now he'll get dragged back behind the line. Let up, whistle, whistle.
Once again, 91, Jason Chapman wreaking havoc in there, fighting off his block. And one time we saw earlier in the third quarter, he made him bow back. Well, he does it again there, but this time he almost gets to the quarterback because Juice decides, I'm going to keep the ball, tuck it in. If he pitches, he's fine. He tries to come back, and then once again, here comes the pursuit of the Wisconsin defense, wraps him up and puts him down on the ground.
Badgers do a good job trying to steal that ball out of there. The official ruled that the play had already been ruled dead before the ball came out. Now Juice Williams gets in under center. It's 2nd and 13. Play action fake. Looking deep over the middle. Caught and dropped. Caught and dropped. by Kyle Hudson. And I'll tell you this much, Illinois' receiving corps has not done Juice Williams a lot of favors today. They dropped the touchdown earlier. They've dropped 3 or 4 balls today, and that's another big one.
Well, he's got great protection to begin with, and then Hudson is go-to guy all year. He throws a bullet right there, right on the money. There's no reason that that ball isn't caught for a big first down for Illinois. They got to make that catch.
Well, earlier Jeff Cumberland dropped a couple of balls, one of them a sure touchdown.
Those are the differences between winning games and losing ball games, and right there, that's how you lose a ball game.
Badgers 3rd down, money down, pressure on the corner, down he goes. And an offensive holding, I would assume, as well.
Shaughnessy coming out the corner, beating his guy. As Williams steps up underneath, he goes low and grabs onto his feet. Even though the holding play was there, Shaughnessy reacts, makes a big-time play for this Badger defense.
Speed rush on the end. Shaughnessy got there, got a piece of the leg. He was held on the play as well. That's declined, and Illinois will punt.
You know, as frustrating it was in the first half for us to watch this and comment on how the Badgers were playing, they've come out in the second half, they've regrouped. They've obviously executed the game plan as they want to a T right now here in the second half.
Bad snap, good catch. Short punt, bounces backwards at the 40 to the 38-yard line. Outstanding field position for Wisconsin.
And Mike, once again, a bad kick on a punt. I think there's only been one caught punt tonight or today by the Badgers. He's averaging 25 yards per kick, which is not very good. And a lot of times it's short. It bounces back for him, and a great ball or roll on the ball for the Badgers there to once again start in tremendous field position. Biggest
play of the game early in the 3rd quarter, 3rd and less than a yard. Illinois goes quick, has Halsey wide open as he got behind the secondary, and Williams missed him. And that would have been about a 75-yard touchdown.
Oh, easily. He was running to the house for sure.
Stocko has it for Wisconsin. Lance Smith is the featured tailback now. Runs to the outside. Sealed on the outside. He'll get the 35.
Once again, his speed getting outside. He's trying to get to the corner and turn that puppy up. And I'll tell you what, he's close on a couple of these. But you see the speed of this Illinois defense. Linebackers flowing, not allowing to cut back in those corners, and safeties filling on the outside as a squat corner in cover 2. They're doing their job to perfection right there.
Lance Smith, 13 carries, 32 yards. Not a big average, but at this point of the game, you want ball security and let that offensive line beat on them a little bit. The Badgers have done most of their damage in the air. Blitz comes. Stocko, little time, and throws it underneath of Travis Beckham, and a flag comes in late, and that very well could be holding against Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's going to be holding actually on Lance Smith. He's coming up there, picks up the blitz late, and he actually tackles this guy to prevent him from getting in on the blitz down to Stocko so quickly.
Well, Illinois will back up the Badgers here. It will make it a 2nd and about 17.
Holding.
And I don't know that that's...
Offense. 10-yard penalty.
Well, they call it a flag.
2nd down.
You can hear the wind blowing through the official's mic on the field. It is windy on the field. A lot. A lot of wind.
A lot of wind.
There's Coleman's the center, and there you see the hook, and it's probably a good hold if there is such a thing.
Protect your quarterback when you can. It costs you 10 yards, but you know what? You protected him. You can line up. It's still 2nd down, 2nd and long, but the way they're playing, they can recoup from this.
First penalty for Wisconsin today. Stocko rolls near side. Crooks there. Crooks on the catch. Spins out of one and get it inside the 40 to the 38. Not only is it the first penalty on Wisconsin, believe this, it's the first penalty in the game.
Yeah, I tell you, from as clean as they played way back in Bowling Green, and then they've had a couple sloppy games, but here it is now. They're executing well. They haven't played well in the first half, but they're not doing things that are going to beat themselves. Stocko's looking. He's being patient. He says, I'm going to check down to my 3rd guy. Crooks makes the catch and gets up for positive yards. Even though it's 3rd and 10, they're doing the things right.
Well, it's 3rd and 10, and Stocko steps up under center. And the blitz comes. John going to take a hit, and he's lucky the ball's not picked off. See how John gets up. He'll get up okay from this one, but Britt Miller came unimpeded on the blitz, and now Ken DeBush has a big opportunity here. Wisconsin's defense been very good.
They've been running some different stunts. They're playing man-to-man coverage, which allows them to send 1 or 2 linebackers, and they've been doing that because Wisconsin has guys out, so they're outmanned in the box. So they send 8 guys. There's only 7 to block. A lot of times that one guy comes free for Illinois.
DeBush waits for the snap. It's a high floater. Hang up there, Wind. Bouncing at the 5.
Get down
and
there.
going to sit down at the 3-yard line. Oh, what a big play by Ken DeBush.
Ben Strickland, number 3, hustling down there to get down to the goal line, prevent it from going in there. Reads it right. As soon as the ball hits the ground, it bounces completely in the opposite direction from where he was running. Luckily, the rest of the coverage team gets down there and knocks it down for a 35-yard punt. Good coverage.
And it pins Illinois deep inside their own 5-yard line, all the way back at the 3. That's a big punt. Let's watch how Wisconsin has come from behind. They trailed by 14 at the half, and here's how it started. Interception there by Mark Zalewski on a bad throw. Now the throw goes from Stocko to Swan in the corner, and he got the pylon, and the Badgers were within 7. Big play here by Swan on a 3rd down, and that picked up a first. Led to a field goal, and here's the Crooks tight end screen. Fumbled it, recovered it in the end zone, and that's where we sit. Wisconsin 27, Illinois 24. Badgers trailed 21-3 in this ball game, have come all the way back and lead it by 3 with 11:48 to play. The Illini have struggled on offense. Credit the Badger defense for stepping up. Last 4 drives, 4 plays interception, 3 punt, 3 and out, and the last one -7 yards.
I tell you, the Wisconsin defense, I can almost guarantee you that at halftime, coaches didn't have to do a whole lot of coaching in there other than making the corrections and certain formations that they have, but those guys got after each other. You can tell it because they've challenged each other on the field so far in the second half, and they've produced. And they produced, I think, like people are probably a little bit shocked after seeing what they saw in the first half.
Well, there's confidence in this senior group, and I'll tell you about how much confidence that guy has, Brett Bielema, in his seniors in just a second. But I want to tell you about our next hockey broadcast on Wisconsin Public Television. Friday and Saturday, November 10th and 11th, the Denver Pioneers come to the Kohl Center. And you can see both games on Wisconsin Public Television on Friday the 10th and Saturday the 11th, beginning at 10:30. Last Sunday, after Wisconsin won on the road against Purdue, Brett Bielema, and they practice on Sunday. They come in and watch film, and then they practice. And the mode in the film study was that everything was pretty good. But Brett Bielema then held up a sheet in that video session calling out 12 players that were ill-prepared and didn't do their due diligence in getting ready for Purdue. He didn't name the 12 players. He gave those 12 players to the seniors, those captains and seniors, and let them deal with the 12 players.
Yep.
That's trust in your seniors.
Oh, yeah, and he's got some guys that will own up to that, and they will go challenge each other, and not in a way that's demeaning or that they're calling each other out, but you know what? If we want to get to where we want to go, we've got to have everybody preparing, watching film, doing the academics right, and then obviously performing on Saturdays, and they obviously turned that around for this second half.
It's a first down, and the ball is at the 3-yard line for Illinois. Second back through, hit by Zalewski at the 4 and dragged backwards.
Trying to strip it out, but this is the type of thing that 9 times out of 10 you'll see down close to the goal line. But the linebackers are, again, able to run because the D-line is keeping that offensive line from getting to the second level. They're keeping their shoulders square and making it very difficult to hit some seams for those running backs.
Well, and you're a former safety. This is a scary time for you guys because you can't bite too early.
Right.
You don't want to give up the big one.
And if Stelmacher got bit on that one, that 3rd or 4th down and short, I'm sure he's thinking about that right now. Play my fundamental football. Play my responsibility.
Well, Wisconsin moved interior. This one might be one of those where the Badgers actually moved into the neutral zone, and that precipitated the offensive line movement by Illinois. So we'll see. This will be an interesting call. Did Wisconsin make Illinois move by jumping into the neutral zone? Well, the officials are going to say it's against Illinois.
89 offense. After
On their tight end.
Remain second down.
If you watch this, the interior, the tackle for Wisconsin jumps, but the tight end jumped at the same time.
Right.
It was almost simultaneous, and that's going to go against the offensive player every time.
And that's got to be done that way. The defense can get back. The offense has to sit still no matter what. If they flinch the guy across, then it's a different story. But inside, you got to stay still.
Back to the original line of scrimmage, or just behind it. So it's second and slightly more than 10, and the ball is inside the 3-yard line. Williams to throw it. Under pressure, threw it away. Incomplete, and he took a shot. Joe Monty.
You bet. Coming off the edge, getting upfield, forcing the belly back, which makes it a tough throw for the quarterback, and then gets to him tight, wraps him up, puts him on the ground.
You see it again here. The designed rollout left, and the pressure is put on. Hayden was there.
He had nowhere to throw, absolutely nowhere to throw. Everybody was covered downfield.
Well, a big opportunity here. It's a big third down play. Deep in their own end zone. Illinois lines up with Juice Williams in the shotgun. Throws it left side, never a chance. Well, and a terrible Illinois punting unit comes out onto the field. Yeah, Wisconsin's going to get the ball. I would gamble that they'll get it inside the Illinois 35 after all is said and done. The Illinois punting unit has averaged 25.5 yards a punt today. That's bad, by the way.
That's real bad. That's being kind.
Yeah. Kyle Yelton is the punter. He averages 38 punts.
Oh, watch. That's terrible. Now. That's
well, he got
a heck
a great
of a
bounce. Holy cow. What a bounce. All the way out to the 45.
A 42-yard punt, and I'm willing to bet about 25 of it's rolling on the ground.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a short, high punt that took an incredible Illinois bounce. So the Badgers get good field position. It could have been better. It's at the 45. And Stocko brings out the troops. About 10 minutes to play before they snap this one. It'll click down to be close to 10 minutes. Stocko with Lance Smith as the lone back. Lance looking for something. Might get a yard.
That time they just came on a straight regular pro formation, just a split and a flanker. You got your running back there, but what was interesting is you've got your center, a guard, and a tackle to the left. And you've got a guard, tackle, and tight end to the right side. So where do you think they're going to run? Yeah. That's pretty amazing. And you look at this, the protection that Stocko's had, 140 yards here in the second half, and doing things right. Receivers are catching the ball, and they're playing with a lot of confidence right now.
John Stocko comes to the line of scrimmage. Lance Smith through the initial line and inside the 40 to the 39. Wisconsin, the lead is just 3, so what you'd love to do here is sustain a bit of a drive and get a touchdown on the board and make it a 2-possession game.
Well, this is where Wisconsin's been so good in years past. In the fourth quarter with 8, 9, 10 minutes left in the game, that's where they earn a lot of their ball control offense stigma. They take the possession, time of possession, and they dominate it here in these types of situations because their offensive line controls the line of scrimmage. They've got solid running backs who know how to stay in bounds but get positive yardage.
Smith on the pitch left. Good blocking through the initial wave to the 30. First down, Wisconsin, and a great initial surge on the pitch. He had lead blockers, including Joe Thomas, out ahead of the play.
I tell you what, it's getting fun to watch this guy here today. He's slippery, doing the simple things right. Here's a simple sweep, but he's got guys out front. Allows him to do that, and Joe just pushes a guy over. No big deal.
Joe Thomas is just funny. I mean, he's just pushing guys, and they go to the turf. It's amazing. Until you walk up and stand next to Joe, you don't realize how big he is.
Right.
He's an athletic freak.
Well, and when guys look at him on tape, that's one thing. But when you're down in the field and you see how he moves, how quick his feet are, how balanced he is, even coming off a knee injury from last year, how he's developed again this year. He's about 50 times better than he was last year. He's got a lot riding on the line because there's a lot of people touting him as the best offensive lineman in the country, and he's shown it time and time again so far this year.
Well, I don't know if we'll see it again or if we can, John, but Joe coming out leading on this play just kind of half pushes one guy to the deck and then full pushes another. Watch Joe Thomas leading out on this pitch. He's on the left side of the screen, 72. Watch what he does to two guys here. There goes one. He's done. There goes another. He's done.
I tell you, and both those guys are linebackers. Britt Miller was the first guy he went after, and then a strong safety, Kevin Mitchell, number 42. But that's just a simple love tap for him, as big and as strong as he is. But he was coached well in high school. He's come in here. He's been very good at football and a track athlete. He's a very conscientious student. Just earned a postgraduate scholarship. Not many guys have done that. Or get that each and every year. Jim Leonard was the last one for Wisconsin to do that. So he's the full package, and he's going to do very well at the next level.
One of the interesting things that a lot of people don't hear this type of information, but Brett told us last week when we had talked to him that a lot of times during a week they'll take away some of the reps from Joe just to make sure he's okay. And he said usually when you do that, a lot of those guys will go back in the back and kind of goof around. And there's Joe Thomas's grandfather there in the picture. But Brett was telling us that a lot of times if you give somebody some reps off, they'll just kind of go and they'll take his time off. And Joe's up there coaching. You know, he's up there intently watching what's happening and talking to the offensive linemen when they come back. A lot of time those guys will go play catch with a wide receiver or goof around with a punter or a kicker or something. You know, the guys that aren't really doing stuff.
The punter and kicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. But that's the kind of leadership that you get from Stelmacher and Zalewski and Rogers and from Joe Thomas and John Stocco and those guys that they've been around the program. They know, if you want to be a top program over and over and over, year in and year out, you've got to do those little things, and that starts with your senior leadership to set the example for the young guys.
I'm a little confused with Bucky Badger today because he's wearing the turtle outfit. That's kind of like a Maryland Terrapin look.
It's not a real good look.
No, it's not a good look on Bucky, seriously. You don't want Capital One filming that. He's got the turtle pack on with the ninja look for Bucky on a Halloween weekend. I don't think you'll see the real Bucky down at the Freak Fest on State Street.
I don't know.
No. It's first down at the 30-yard line of Illinois. And Stocco on the half roll, Beckham underneath. Beats the initial tackler and gets outside, inside the 25. Tackle made by Justin Harrison.
They've run that play a couple times. A couple different looks to it. Beckham coming from behind, just leaking out the backside again, coming from the strong side, going weak. Stocco finding him. A couple other times they've done that. They've used him as a decoy. That's the big reception that Swan had earlier in the third quarter.
Ball is marked just outside the 25 at the 26. You can see the statistics of the two quarterbacks. One is a freshman, one is a senior. The numbers reflect that because John Stocco had a rough start, but has maintained his composure and has been dead solid in the second half. It's Smith, spins off of one and inside the 25. But a big play here because the way the wind is blowing, field goals are not an automatic today, not from any distance. So here at 3rd and 5, it's a big opportunity for Wisconsin, and maybe 4th down opportunity.
A good job by the Illinois defense right there. They brought 9 guys into the box to stop the run right there, and obviously got the job done.
Well, Wisconsin has done most of their 3rd down work today in the air. The Badgers are 4 of 12 on 3rd down. They'll pitch it. Smith on that lead, nobody out there. He's down at the 28-yard line, 27 maybe. And now Wisconsin has a decision to make because this, with this wind, would be a 44, 45-yarder. They're not going to try that.
Looking from the end here, you see Lance Smith. He's actually got nowhere to run. Crooks gets thrown off on his block from the outside backer, number 44, Britt Miller. A good job sealing off the corner and then bringing him out. He's got nowhere to go. Badgers
will not kick it. 6:20 and counting in the 3rd. And Stocco brings his troops to the line and a 4th down and 7. On the year, 4th down, Wisconsin is 2 of 9. on the season, but 1 of 1 today. Blitz coming, picked up, has time, left side, Swan, caught it!
Got it in. Big time catch. Big time catch, just running them off, doing a simple out route. Would you think a defensive back can cover that? But when you push and you have the threat of going deep all the time, Swan plants hard, knows where he has to get to for the first down, stops his route on a dime, makes the cut, and then a good throw and a great catch to get his foot down inbounds for the first down.
Talk about a confident right-handed bullet. A fastball from Stocko on the money. And Swan has been his go-to wideout today. He's the only wide receiver with a catch, and he's got 4 of them for 85 yards. Now back to the ground. Daiwan Rowan cuts inside, but he'll be taken down to the 10. Nice open field tackle by the leading tackler in the Big Ten, Jay Lehman.
And Lehman really hasn't been a factor very much today. A couple times in the first half, he showed up, but in this second half, he has not been around. He's got a total of 10 tackles, but for him, the big plays that he makes, those aren't ones that he's made today.
It is second down, and potentially the sticks allow for a first down. It would be inches from the goal line. Stocko splits a receiver each way and now brings one in motion. That's Hubbard. The delay to Smith, hit in the backfield, and that play blown up right away by Lehman again.
Well, there I go. I call out his name, and then I jinx the Badgers. But that's the kind of player that that's a reason he is the Big Ten leading tackler, because he gets through the hole and he hits it hard. He's a lot like Zalewski. He's big, he's strong, he's physical, and he loves playing linebacker. He thrives at hitting guys just like that.
He's just a junior. He's the leading tackler in the Big Ten and averaging 10 tackles a game, and he's over that mark again today. So another big play. It's 3rd and long, 3rd and 14. The ball resting at the 15-yard line. Stocko, left side, overthrew Beckett. High and wide of the mark, and now 4th down, and a decision this time is made to kick the field goal. So Melhoff comes on with 4:32 to play to kick the field goal. If you make it, it's still a 1-possession game, and a touchdown beats you, but a field goal wouldn't be in play if Melhoff converts this one.
Right, and this is something they got to have. And you know, Coach mentioned earlier when he was here in the 3rd quarter with us, he's kicking with a lot of confidence. It's a good position for his leg. He's got to follow through, put it through the uprights.
A lot of wind down there. The snap is good, the hold is good, and it slides inside the left upright, and a big-time field goal from Taylor Melhoff. And the Badgers lead it by 6 with 4:27 to play.
This is where you group as your defense, your coaches get together, you start to talk about, okay, here's our opportunity. Our kickoff team is going to pin them deep. We have got to show up again. We've got to produce. Getting a turnover is going to seal the deal on this game, so they got to play aggressive, but play sound fundamentals. They can't get caught peeking inside when the responsibility's outside, and those D linemen have got to come over and over and over again to get pressure, because you know they're going to be throwing the football.
So Taylor Melhoff will put a boot into it from the 35. Swirling winds. Essentially into the wind is where he made the field goal, and into the wind on this kickoff as well. Ron Zook on the Illinois sideline trying to get the Illini back into it. A touchdown for Illinois. It's just a 6-point game, so a touchdown and an extra point would give the Illini the lead. 4:27 remaining in the game.
Illinois has played a very, very good ball game. They haven't done very well in the second half, obviously, but they've competed with this team. They've done a lot of very good things offensively and defensively today, but there's no reason why with 4.5 minutes left in this game, they still can't get down the field and score some points.
Melhoff with a bullet to the corner of the end zone, and they'll bring it out from 1 yard deep. And spinning goals on the turf, picked up by Illinois. Big opportunity there. You had just mentioned it, Scott. Ball comes out on the kick return, but in the right place at the right time was Britt Miller.
I tell you, you're right. In the right place at the right time is a perfect way to describe it. Derek McPherson, the receiver who was returning that kick right there, got downfield and got spun around. And as he spun in the helicopter, the ball went flying out.
There you see the last 5 drives for Wisconsin. 4 scores, couple of touchdowns, couple of field goals. Wisconsin with a 6-point lead, and the crowd gets in with 4 minutes to play.
More importantly, eating the clock up, and that's a key stat right now for the Wisconsin Badgers. Eat the clock.
The Illini have 3 timeouts remaining. Ball near side, open and caught by Halsey. Out of the backfield, make that Pierre Thomas. Pierre Thomas on the play-action fake, open on the near sideline. First pass completion by Williams in the second half.
That's
and a big one.
Big time catch right there. Throwing behind your receiver like that, and this running back in this case going up over the top, stretching as far as you can and bringing it down. Great pitch and catch.
Stelmacher on the coverage. It's first down. Ball at the 46. The Illini with some life, trailing by 6. William rules the pocket. And he'll take a shot, but he doesn't go down. Big kid. Cooper hit him, but didn't wrap him.
That's the second time today where Cooper's had his chance and he's just swatted at him. He's got to grab cloth, drive through him. It's all about tackling the ball carrier right now. But you see the speed of Cooper. Jamal Cooper coming off the corner. Nobody can touch him. He's got a kill shot right there. Go right through him, wrap up. Don't run by him and just give him a little tap. Put him on the ground. Send a message right away.
A gain of about a half a yard. It's 2nd and 9. Into the wind or a crosswind. They're going to run a reverse. And here it comes. McPherson, read by Shaughnessy, rips him down.
Great fundamentals by Matt Shaughnessy right there. Knowing he's the backside end, that's the only thing that he can do is make a play. If they cut up in the middle, fine, but I tell you what, he gets across the line of scrimmage, sees it, plants, and takes the proper angle to tackle him. Best of all, tackles him inbounds to keep the clock running.
Clock runs with 2:40 to play. All 3 timeouts remaining. You'd expect one of them would come after this play. Play clock all the way down at 5. Williams steps up. Underneath, incomplete. And it was a good rush up by Hampton, who batted it away. And now Illinois on 4th down with 2:21 to play. The punting has been terrible, so you almost have to go for it here.
Good protection because they're only rushing 3 guys, but what Juice Williams does there, he sees his guy open, but he's got to throw behind him. The receiver just didn't read it quick enough to get back to the football.
And here is your ball game. 2:21 to play. 4th and 10. Rolling near side. Deep up over the middle, incomplete.
No flags. Uncatchable ball.
And Wisconsin takes over with 2:14. Illinois has all 3 timeouts. So if Wisconsin is to run out the clock, they'll have to gain a first down or 2.
Jamal Cooper, number 5 again, coming in from the end, battling like crazy. Gets to the end, hits Williams as he releases the ball, forces him to throw on the run. He throws it high, uncatchable ball, good coverage downfield to allow him to get pressure on the quarterback.
And here's where the new rules this year in college football this day benefit Wisconsin. The clock is now running on the change of possession. Play clock is now at 10 and the game clock at 1:56. Stocco hands to Smith. Keep it secured. Inside the 40 to the 38. And Illinois takes the timeout. But it's a big pickup because they take a timeout on an 8-yard gain. It will be 2nd and 2. And if Wisconsin is able to pick up a first down, then I think you can go to victory formation.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, when we talked to Coach Bielema this last week, he's got a card that shows exactly what he wants to do in situations like this. When does the clock start? Are we up? Are we down? What formations do we want to run? What personnel do we want to have? Everything's spelled out for him. So as he carries that around, there's no second guessing. It's like, hey, what are we going to do this play? He looks, his coaching staff knows. As he reads that, it's exactly what they've spelled out based on the situation of the game. The minute 44, there's absolutely no doubt in his mind with a 6-point lead here what he wants to do.
It's a big character game for Wisconsin. They trail 21-3. And Scott, it says a lot about the composure and the character and the makeup of this football team to come from way behind, 21-3, and right now in a position where if they gain another first down, they can seal the victory.
Well, I think halftime came for them at a perfect time. They were pressing a little bit, trying to do some things, trying to make big plays when they didn't need to. They regrouped at halftime. They came out and they played football like this team has done all season long, just solid fundamentals, getting the job done and beating the guy across from you on one-on-one.
And they've shut the Illini out in the second half. Defense been the story. Daiwan Rowan darts back up inside, short of the first down. So Illinois takes their second of 3 timeouts with 1:39 to play.
And this is good play calling from Wisconsin. Force them to take the timeouts if they don't get the first down. And good on Illinois' part to give yourself a chance to win. Your defense has played very, very well. At 3rd and short, you know Wisconsin's going to run. You know your defense is going to come at them. If you stop them, you give your offense an opportunity to score and possibly win this ballgame.
Big Ten schedule on tap for next week. You know Penn State comes to Camp Randall for an 11 o'clock kickoff, and you can see the game 1 week from tonight at 10:30 on Wisconsin Public Television. The other games next week, Northwestern is on the road at Iowa, who the Badgers will see 2 weeks from now. Ohio State is at Illinois, Purdue at Michigan State, and Michigan steps out of conference for a home meeting with Ball State. Indiana is at Minnesota. And the Indiana Hoosiers have come up from, when Wisconsin went down there and had the beat down at Bloomington, since then the Hoosiers have played inspired football for Coach Hepner. They have their blowout Michigan State today, and Indiana's had their moments since Wisconsin really knocked them around.
Oh yeah, and then coming back and beating, I think at the time, a 16th ranked Iowa team. They've got some ability, and they are playing inspired football.
Big play here. A first down would likely seal it. 3rd and about 3. Smith hitting the backfield, and he's down. Lehman again comes up and makes the tackle. And now Wisconsin will have to punt it as Illinois takes their final timeout.
This is a way you love your linebackers to play. Lehman, number 47, on a blitz, reading it. He comes absolutely untouched. He's going through there. He's excited. He's fired up, and he lays out his own guy after the play. He's so happy.
So Wisconsin will bring on the punting unit, and Ken DeBush. Illinois is going to have one last look at winning this ball game.
This is where your kickers become so valuable. Special teams, the 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams. This can win you a ball game right here by pinning it deep again. Even if you kick it in the end zone, the 20-yard line, you've just forced them to go another 20 yards as opposed to trying to go for the first down and coming up short.
Well, and you have to have a good snap. Steven Johnson, the 6'3 junior, is the long snapper. You got to have a good snap. Kenny DeBush has to catch it and get it off. You got to protect him. You got to make sure that you get the punt away. And then I think you're right, Nelly. Even if it does go in the end zone, you're okay with that. But Johnson needs to make a good snap, and DeBush needs to get it off.
Now look for Illinois to run a blitz or a stunt here, crisscross some guys, and try and get up for the block. Look for them to bring the house.
Snap is good, and DeBush gets off a high floater. This is good. It carries to the 16-yard line, maybe the 17. That's all you wanted. Ken DeBush does his job.
Off the clock.
Absolutely.
Allowed your coverage team to get down there, and now they're lining up. And they've got to go 82 yards for
and
a
the clock
touchdown.
runs. Now, as soon as they place the ball here and get it set, they will start the clock. So Illinois comes to the line of scrimmage. They have no timeouts remaining. 1:28 to play. Illinois needs 82 yards. They need a touchdown. Badgers come with pressure. And he's going to throw it away. He's out of the tackle box, so that's okay.
Yep.
Don't throw a flag on that. That's a good play by a young quarterback.
And that's lucky for them, too. He releases the ball, throws it incomplete, and it stops the clock because they've got no timeouts left.
Yeah, if you sack him there, that might be ball game. Williams rolls out. Levy gets him, spins him around, but can't get him to the turf before the ball gets thrown away. It's 2nd and 10. 1:17 to play. Badgers rush 4. Throw to the left sideline. Out of bounds. Incomplete. Third down.
Illinois just has to focus right now on getting a first down. They can't go for a big home run. They just got to get 10 yards. They can line up and play again because the clock will stop until the chains are set. They'll have enough time to call another play and keep moving, but they got to get that first down.
Wisconsin has 3 defensive linemen in the game, but Levy off the near edge from an upright position has rushed on the first 2 plays of this series. They'll bring 4 and stunt up the middle. Williams over the middle. Zalewski on the sure tackle. He's short of the first down. And Illinois with no timeouts. It's a 4th down situation for the Illini.
Lining up real quick. Here they come again.
Inside of a minute. Williams, first down and out of bounds. Big play. It's at the 29. So they've picked up 11 yards, but now there's just 51 seconds and no timeouts remaining. Elijah Hodge comes out onto the field for Wisconsin.
Zalewski came to the sideline, not sure if he got hit, but he's holding his right arm.
First down. No timeouts remaining.
A little pressure.
Williams on the middle, nobody there. Incomplete. He was trying to get it down the field to Warren, but there wasn't anybody open, and he ends up throwing it away. Stops the clock, 46 seconds to play, and Zalewski checks back in for Wisconsin.
Just got to maintain coverage downfield. Don't let anybody behind you. Force him to catch the ball in front. You can tackle him, secure him that way, and bring him down, but it keeps the clock running.
Cooper and Shaughnessy are the defensive ends. Mike Newkirk is the tackle. And Levy lines up in that slot there. They'll rush just 3. Throw near side, high and outside. Langford was seeing touchdown.
Oh, yeah. He throws that on the money. Langford picks it off, and he goes 45 yards for a touchdown. So it's a good throw on Williams' part. Throw it out of bounds that way because everybody was covered downfield.
I think Langford had some visions of dancing in the end zone in his mind on that one, but Williams misses at the right time.
Well, you get pretty wide-eyed, pretty excited at that point. You make that big play because you put the game completely out of reach at that point.
Make sure you play sound here. It's 3rd and 10, 41 seconds to play. Williams with time, left sideline, first down. Caught on the outside by Jacob Willis. Willis with his first catch on the day, and it's a first down with 35 seconds to play. Ball's at the 44-yard line of Illinois. They still need 56 yards. Illinois needs the end zone.
As hard as this is, only rushing 3, maybe 4 guys. If you get some pressure on him and force a sack, you can put the game out of reach. The game can be over.
Williams with pressure from the outside. Cooper had him, lost it. Nobody's open. He'll run to the sideline and out of bounds. Smart play, freshman quarterback, 28 seconds.
Good recognition on his part. I'll tell you what, though, Cooper coming off that left side for the quarterback, I almost think he got held as he's coming off the corner right there. He's pulling on his jersey, bringing him down. They're lucky that didn't cost him a penalty.
A good job by Casillas to hold up on the sideline. You don't want to get a 15-yard penalty. That could kill you. He holds up right there, and it's out of bounds. Pickup of 2, 2nd and 8, with 28 seconds. Stepping up, running now. Oh, he's in the middle of the field, and he's down, so the clock runs with 18 seconds and counting.
Try and spike it, or they're going to lose it down, make it 4th down real quick.
Illinois wasn't set. There's a flag on the play. That should end the ball game. It doesn't matter. There's a flag on the play, and there's 1 second remaining, but the flag on the play will set him back, and then the clock will wind, and this will be the ball game. Illinois wasn't set. One of the receivers never got his feet set before the snap of the ball, so back him up 5 yards with 1 second to play, and as soon as they put the ball down, they wind the clock, and I'll be surprised if Illinois gets a playoff.
Illegal motion. Number 17 of the offense.
In fact, I think the game may be over.
Repeat, third down.
No, they'll set it. In the NFL, they wind the clock on that inside of 2 minutes. They wind the clock 10. Well, Wisconsin takes a timeout.
Yeah, they want to try and regroup their defense, just explain what's going on, tell them to be ready. Once the whistle's blown, we've got to be ready to play because they're going to snap the ball.
I'm wondering why you'd call the time. And now you get Illinois the opportunity to set their line of scrimmage and do whatever they want to do. Had they just put the ball down, Nelly, Illinois would have to snap it immediately.
I think what happened is one of the assistant coaches went on the field, looked at coach, said, do we want a timeout? They said, yeah, before they let the play be called, or the penalty be called. So they called timeout. They can't retract that once the official knows that it's called. They blow the whistle dead. It's got to be done.
But now Illinois will get the snap, and I don't know if they'd have gotten it otherwise, but they'll snap it with 1 second to play. And the ball is sitting at the Illinois 47. Very windy, but if you're with or against the wind, it's swirling. But if there's an advantage, the wind would be at Illinois' back.
And Williams definitely has a strong enough arm to get it down to the goal line. And it's from his back right now as we watch the flags blow in the stadium with the ball right now. So he's got the opportunity to throw it 50, 60 yards on a dime.
Badgers line up 4 defensive backs at the 5-yard line. Rogers, Ikeguanu, Stellmacher, and Langford are standing inside the 5-yard line, and there's the snap.
Get to him, press it,
and it's over. Matt Shaughnessy and Jamal Cooper applied the pressure. Shaughnessy got the sack, and Wisconsin wins the football game 30-24.
What an exciting ball game from the first half to the second half. The tale of 2 games right there. These guys responded. Wisconsin did what they had to do to come back. Simple things, but things that when you execute can be big production. You got guys like Luke Swan coming through with a big catch. Andy Crooks coming through with a big catch. And then you got the D linemen knowing what they have to do, coming off the corner to get pressure from Cooper up front and Shaughnessy off the backside to put this thing to rest.
Shaughnessy on a speed rush from the top, and there's the head coach, and he knows he's got to win as the clock expires, and the Badgers throw a shutout in the second half. They outscore the Illini 20-0 after the halftime break, and the Wisconsin Badgers now improve to 8-1 on the season and 5-1 in the Big Ten. 2 big games on deck.
2
Penn
huge
State
games.
comes here 1 week from today, and then Wisconsin finishes Big Ten play on the road at Iowa. And this one looked bad for a while.
Yeah.
And Wisconsin gets all the way up off the deck and comes back to win it.
And this is one that they know they can go wire to wire with anybody. Penn State and Iowa are going to present that same challenge right now. And I tell you what, you get a guy like Zalewski, as funny as his haircut is, as they keep playing together as a unit, all 11 guys, all on the same page, getting the job done. They're a fun team to watch.
Well, and that interception by Zalewski on the first possession of the second half might have been the big change in the game.
You betcha.
That and the miss by Williams on the 3rd and 1 play that he's got Halsey back behind everybody, and he missed it.
Yeah, and those are the things that, again, you expect guys to show up and make plays, and when they don't, it seems like a little thing at the time, but when you look back and reflect on the last 30 minutes of football, 2 huge plays in this ballgame.
Well, join us again 1 week from now as the Badgers suit up for their final Big Ten home game of the season. That's Wisconsin and Penn State. It's November the 4th, and you can watch it all at 10:30 right here on Wisconsin Public Television. Once again, thanks to our entire crew downstairs, John Gerbig and Deb Piper. Thank you very much. For Scott Nelson, I'm Mike Heller. Once again, the final score, Wisconsin 30, Illinois 24. This has been Badger Football on Wisconsin Public Television.
Presentation of Badger Football on Wisconsin Public Television is made possible in part by Goodman's Jewelers. John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers, proud of the tradition started by Robert and Irwin Goodman. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933. The Mendota Gridiron Club, the official fundraising organization for University of Wisconsin football. University Athletic Department, with official information about Badger athletics on the web. The Wisconsin Alumni Association, connecting, enriching, and serving UW-Madison alumni and friends for more than 140 years. UWalumni.com. And by the Badger Fund, the Wisconsin Athletic Department's annual fundraising program, 14,000 donors, supporting 750 Badger student athletes.